Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Jason Myles, and welcome to another episode of This is Revolution Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're alerted whenever we go live. So when we do crazy things like this, you guys are well aware. Also, before we start, I want to remind people that tickets are going on sale Monday for the book launch event for my upcoming book, I Was a Teenage Anarchist, about how the culture of deconstruction and authenticity work in conjunction with each other to neutralize any sort of movement. The live event is going to be what I call the coolest backyard punk show, but not a punk show. There's going to be people from some legendary hardcore punk and metal bands. There's going to be a Q&A, a lot of mingling. There'll definitely be alcohol. It's going to be at a secret location, which you won't know until you get tickets. And I've been talking with the booking agent. I guess I should say our booking agent. I want to say my booking agent because I've known TJ. Jesus, I've known TJ for a long time. But anyway, we're talking about redoing this in New York as well. So I'm pretty stoked for that. And also, I have to send a fat shout out and happy birthday to my 17-year-old son, Julian Riley. Julian Riley, you are 17, and my goodness, I can't believe it. I don't have too many pictures. I definitely don't share too much with my boys as they're pretty far away from this world. And I think they like to keep it that way. But I did share a picture on Instagram of my son. I think it was at his brother's birthday party. They're 3 years and 3 days apart. And he was a little bitty guy. And now he's taller than me. He's like 6 feet. This person that I'm going to bring in would probably disagree and say he's only 5'10", but she wants me to walk to New York to shake the shit out of her. Please welcome the faceless voice of reason in Tucson.
Hello. I totally believe your son is taller than you because you're not even 5'10".
You really want this trip to New York? With me just singing it, making my way downtown, shaking the shit out of MT. If I could grab her by the arms.
Ridiculous.
I have no idea where that came from. I want to let everyone know that I was totally prepared to do this show by myself, and I shared a little bit of the monologue, the opening script with Toussaint, and it feels like it was a bat signal for her. She was like, I can't let him die alone. So she was like, I'll be here. And I saw her there's a virtual green room, and I see her show up in the virtual green room like Eddie Kane from the 5 Heartbeats as the intro music is coming on. And I'm like, what's this? And the heart is a house of love.
And I've learned.
Build it up, build it up, build it up. Ooh. Yeah, I've seen the 5 Heartbeats way too many times.
That's what it sounds like.
I love the 5 Heartbeats. It's a great movie. Robert Townsend is a very slept-on director because I think people remember him from like The Parenthood and Meteor Man, and they don't think about other things he's done. Eddie Murphy Raw.
Look at that.
What do you know? Joe says, do one to the tune of Empire State of Mind.
That's one of his favorites, actually. Wearing your city t-shirt with the wrong city on it.
This is whoa.
Yep.
We're coming for you.
No.
The Williamsburg Bridge.
This is the Williams. You lost whatever was left of your mind. Look, just because you got your hair done the other day doesn't mean. There's this black woman. I sent you this video. I don't think you watched it. And she's got a chalkboard, and she goes, okay, see, you went here, and then you made a left here, and then you made another left here, and see right here, and she circles it, that's where you got me fucked up.
She drew a street with the lines on the street. And she drew a tree.
She said, right here is where you got me fucked up. And that's what you just did right now. That is where. I laughed so hard. Strom says, please don't have the show in Williamsburg in winter. Look, Strom, I'm New York and winter with me. Snow means I don't go.
Jeez.
Snow means a hell no.
Snow is beautiful.
On postcards and in TV commercials and in Hallmark movies. That is what snow is for. Snow is not for living in, shoveling, playing in. It's for me to look at from afar and go, oh.
It melts pretty fast in the city.
Maybe your city.
The
in my city, we don't even know what that shit is. But someone asked what state. So we're going to do the launch party, of course, in California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. That is where I'm from. I love to do stuff where I'm from. Sadly, all the TIR kind of Give Them a Revolution live shows we haven't done one in the Bay. We talked about it. We also talked about doing one in Austin, and then schedules just didn't work out. So that's fine. It left me some time to, get this book done, and now I can do these book things. So I'm stoked for that. And then I'm going to do the movie screenings for Kayfabe. So hell yeah. Aren't you excited for that?
It is. Yeah, I am excited.
Are you going to come with me to those and hide as well?
You can look forward to me hiding.
Only like 2 people recognized you at the New York thing, right?
I think it's weird because honestly, it's like there's only so many black women at some of these shows. Maybe they don't think of color. They think of me. But hey, whatever.
Got you. Well, the title of this show is a bit misleading. I don't want to answer any questions.
Ooh.
I want to hear what you guys have to say. You guys don't want to call in and find out what my favorite color is. I do want to hear what you have to say about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Recently in the news, a war has broken out in the Middle East that has managed to capture the attention of a nation. Even my very non-political social media feed was filled with people with some god-awful takes on Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm sure you've seen some horrible stuff, right, too, Tim? I can't even say your name. Tim. Tim Salabim. You seen some crazy stuff?
Sure have.
It's literally pissed off some people on this show that they're like, I'm not going on here for days. So many fights I'm seeing, so many people standing in solidarity with the nation state they have never been to and will never go to. And maybe at best they'll send some money to a charity. I was talking to Gene Bajla on the way back from that 14-hour drive, and he was like, Jason, you're right. It's all kayfabe. What does that mean? We start to see the world like we see these contests of morality played out in front of us as zero-sum games, politics as entertainment. We take it more seriously because this is real life. It's not scripted. But the way the news is presented, it might as well be. The binary nature of the reporting enables the viewing public to see global conflict as nothing more than team sports. And much like with team sports, the side you root for is always morally justified in whatever actions. The complexities of the causes of war get lost in oversimplified explanations ready-made for news programs and TikTok, Instagram story explainer videos to present these conflicts as quickly and as simply as possible. News programs resemble ESPN more than it does a bipartisan discussion of conflict that includes contextual history and philosophic discussions on the effects of violence and the barbarous brutality that only the people in the conflict will suffer. This is G.I. Joe versus Cobra. That's all you need to know. You decide who is the hero and who is the villain. And if you don't have any real knowledge of the situation, then simply tell me who the bad guy is. Let me mourn for the victim and use that false sense of understanding and empathy to hoard virtue. With that, I open phones, on-screen calls. Originally, I said no producer, but she showed up because she's a real G. That's what happens when you have real G's on your team.
Boom.
Bad Lefty says, I stand with Iceland. I stand with Northern Lights. We have one call. I will say this. Usually people get a little nervous. No one wants to be the first call. I don't know why. I guess we're not famous enough to have people like, I want to be the first call. So usually after the first call, the people really start calling in, rolling through. So are you ready, Toussaint?
I'm ready.
Okay. I don't know who the first call is. Oh my goodness. I've never seen this phone number before.
I know who it is.
You know who it is?
I do. Do you want me to push him through?
Push him through.
Hey, Jason, what's going on? It's Bro Flamingo from Las Vegas. And what's up, man, Toussaint?
How you doing, Bro Flamingo? So far, so good on our agreement.
Hey. I want to talk about two things, Jason, real quick. The first thing, there's going to be a strike by the culinary union, the local 226. We're going to start picket lines tomorrow in front of, I think, 3 or 4 properties. And it's big. I just wanted to put it out there because, the casinos are playing hardball, playing real hardball, a lot of, it's crazy because, we have Formula One coming here to Vegas in November and the stakes are high, And I think it's real important, everybody out there knows what's going on. You see what's going on with the UAW. They're about to shut down the Kentucky Ford plant. And I think it's very important that, that the local 226 here in Vegas, for, bartenders, housekeepers, bellmen, everything, And we're fighting for a contract. But we've been without a contract for, I think, maybe 2 or 3 months now because, they're just playing like a, let me put it to you this way. They're testing the waters. They're playing around. But also I do think I think the companies think we're not serious, So we really have to show out and go strong. And that's going to happen tomorrow. It's the first in the morning. And then the second wave is going to continue at like 5. There's going to be picket lines and everything. And I think that's very important news. And I think, especially since you're next door in California, right? South of California, but yeah, because I saw the union workers in the hotels doing wildcat strikes down there too. That was very inspiring. And the second thing, Jason, I wanted to talk about, because you mentioned something. And look, this is anecdotal. I don't really talk about my personal experience on this front. You talked about how people talk about, support a nation state that they've never been to. Or, it's like ESPN, politics is sports. And I agree with you on some level, Jason, and I really do agree with you on some level because, like, for example, I'm in the local 226, right? I lost my job due to political reasons because I was active in the union and they suspended me from my previous company. I got to be hired at another company, but union again. But also, but I realized that a lot of people, and listen, I don't think like you're less serious about politics if you're not out there, organizing or, out there doing the work, because I'm also part of my local DSA as well. You know, I know a lot of people feel strongly about that, but whatever. But what I realized, Jason, is that a lot of people do not have skin in the game, but they're the most fervent commenters on like Twitter or Reddit or Discord. You understand what I'm saying with that?
I'm listening. Yes.
And yeah, because I feel like I'm talking for a long time. I'm sorry, but so and to me, it's very strange because like a lot of things that bubble up on Twitter, people are going so hard, just like just threads or whatever. People want to go and organize whatever. Nobody's talking about this shit. Part of my language, sir. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about this shit whatsoever. And then like you said, I get the feeling it's almost like sports. We're talking about football, we're playing political football back and forth. And it's just like there's like no skin in the game whatsoever for a lot of these people talking. It's just very strange. Am I making sense with that? And the last thing I'll say, if you want to respond, I'll never forget this. I remember one time my local DSA chapter, we went to downtown Las Vegas. We went to downtown Las Vegas, and we were doing a march for Palestine, Palestinian liberation. And I saw a bunch of cops out there. And like Jason, in my newbie self, I was like, oh, look, the cops are here, to stop the leftists from marching, whatever. I was so wrong, because they were there to protect us. Because when we were marching down, for Palestinian rights and liberation, there were people swarming us. I had never seen anything like the people were just insane. I'm like, oh, look, the Nazis, they're coming after us. You guys are terrorists and blah, blah. Jason, it was one of the crazy experiences in my life. Just seeing like insane Zionists just turning on a dime when they saw us marching. That it was crazy. Like, and I'm not saying this as a flex or whatever. I'm sure I'm in a bow in Mossad somewhere. You get what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we you swear to God, like, we know who you are. Yeah, absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? So it is crazy, Jason. But that's when I knew this was bigger than me. Yeah. It was one of those inflection points in my life, Jason. We have a couple of those in our life, but that's when I realized this was bigger than me. This isn't me on Twitter talking shit. You know what I'm saying? This is real shit. I'm saying it was just one of the most transformative experiences in my life. So I'm just calling in, to set the party off. But that's like when people like arguing, going crazy on Twitter, or it's like, do you really have any skin in the game? Exactly. And look, some people do, and some people have. And listen, like, just because, like, maybe you have a regular guy, you're a regular guy or gal out there, and you got a 9 to 5. I'm not saying like you're any political lesser because you're not out there, but understand there's real stakes to this stuff. Yes. You're saying it's not. You're saying go out there, do something. You know what I'm saying? Jason, half the battle is showing up. I swear to God, half of it is showing up. Literally. Yeah. Literally. I got to embrace my DSA just for showing up and paying my dues regularly and help planning, help organizing. Same for the unions, When I go to my union, I volunteer my time all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it gives me purpose and meaning in life. It really does, Jason. It's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever done. And I swear, I'm a political junkie, so everybody has their own. But it gives me purpose and meaning in life also, because I just realized, look, at the end of the day, I'm just one guy, right? But I'm only as strong as my comrade next to me. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, it's just the way it works. It's the way politics work, literally. That's the definition. You might talk shit on Twitter, you might feel good, but what it really comes down to is, are you out there doing something about everything? And that's all I really have to say, Jason. Hey, bro, Flamingo, I appreciate you. Thank you Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for setting the show off. Thank you for setting the show off right. That was a damn good call. That's a hell of a way to start the show off. Give us a scoop. Give us the scoop. First of all, the scoop on what's going on in Vegas. That's a powerful union out there. So it is. It's going to be very interesting if they shut stuff down out there. We are seeing a massive labor movement, and that's a beautiful thing. It really is. There's some, I was with a friend, I won't say who's been an organizer and activist for the majority of his adult life. And he is just disheartened and like stepping away. We talked about this off air. And it's stories like that
that I was trying to tell him, like, I get why you're leaving where you're leaving, because I probably would too.
Right.
But there is something in the water right now, especially in labor. Can the left capture it, or will it just dissolve into Democratic Party politics? I don't know. Vegas is also an interesting place because they had taken over the Democratic Party establishment with their DSA chapter. So
I remember they were very important in getting Bernie the state. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to follow these events, and support your striking workers. Bring them some food,
pizza,
some bottle. It's hot as hell in Vegas still right now. Some bottles of water. Anything. Holler at them. Take some minutes to holler at them while they're out there and talk to them.
Means a lot.
Means a hell of a lot, especially if you're in the Vegas area. It's good to know we got Vegas people. Have you been to Vegas before?
No. I almost got suckered into a timeshare over there.
No. Many moons ago, when I actually had money, my now ex-wife and I got locked in a room while they were trying to sell us a timeshare. If I hear the word timeshare, I get
I know.
Anaphylactic shock. Everyone, share this show with your people. These phones should be ringing off the hook. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This is your show today. I'm not going to sit here and interrupt you. Say what you want to say. And to all, I do want to say this to like all the Twitter stuff. Let that shit go.
Yes.
I saw, before I got on air, I saw the greatest back and forth between two people that I'm kind of like, whatever. It was Ben, what's the black guy's name? He was on this show before. Ben Dixon. Ben Dixon and Destiny.
Wow.
I guess they're beefing. And Ben Dixon called Destiny some name, and Destiny said something about, I'll come to your house and show you what real cuck shit is, like banging his wife or something.
What?
And I was like, that is some bold shit to say, and you ain't never finna do it. Like, is he really finna do it? Because if I was Ben Dixon, I'd buy him a plane ticket.
I thought Destiny was racist.
I would give a fuck.
Now he's cucking some black dude's wife.
I would love. Oh man, Jesus, if you're real. That's the pay-per-view event I want to see. I want to see him dare. Oh,
that's bold. That's
I
very
would strangle
bold
him with his own penis.
We have a super chat and more calls.
Okay, what's the super chat say? You have to read it. That's your job.
Can I put it on the screen? Okay.
Yes.
Sean McCallum says Democrat Party labor pimps like Sean Fain are con men in the vein of Walter Reuther and John L. Lewis. Sorry, not sorry.
Damn. Did Sean Fain do a Destiny at your house? So you saying don't let Sean Fain over for Thanksgiving is what you're trying to say? So what you're telling me is if Sean Fain come over trick-or-treating and just you'd be like, I ain't got no candy. Yeah, you do. It's in the cupboard underneath the sink. You're like, how the hell? Sean Fain.
Damn it, Sean Fain.
Damn it, Sean Fain. Can somebody start a meme with Sean Fain just banging people's spouses? Doesn't matter. Men or women. Sean Fain is just getting in.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Destiny was like, I'm gonna bang your. What if you go to bang Ben Dixon's wife and it's just not what you thought it was gonna be? You thought it was gonna be Beyonce and one of In Vogue, and it's just not that. You get Escape.
Oh, why do people talk about Escape like that? There's nothing wrong with Escape.
What? What if that's what you get? He's just going, I don't care.
Unbelievable.
Every man needs a woman. Somebody said it's Octavia Spencer. Okay, I'm going to stop. We have phone calls to tend to.
We do.
All right. Again, this is your guys' show today. All I'm here for is comic relief in the chat. You push them through?
Yep.
You want to tell them, because I don't know the area codes. I'm not on that screen. So you go ask the question. Let them know.
Calling from the 617 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? What you have for breakfast?
Oh, hey, it's Juliana. Can you guys hear me?
Hell yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man? I don't know if you remember me, but I was at the live show.
Which one?
The one in New York. We were at the bar for like fucking forever, talking about fucking Tupac and Biggie, I think.
I do know you. What's going on, brother? We were laughing all night. We were laughing all night. What's going on, dude?
Until like 4 a.m.
That sounds
not much. It just, the same shit that's been going on for everybody else the past couple of days, watching the fucking shit hit the fan in Gaza.
It's really horrible.
It had some... It's fucking awful. It's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, I don't begrudge the Palestinian people for fighting for their liberation, but I'm not delusional enough to think it's going to turn out well.
I mean, this is your show. I'm not critiquing how you feel. So tell me and the world how you feel about this situation. Go for it.
I hope that they win, but I seriously doubt it. I think a lot of people are talking way too much shit about it because they're not there and they have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I also think people need to be very careful about the stupid shit that they're sharing because, like, obviously there's going to be a ton of propaganda about this.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, every disgusting photo you see might not necessarily be real and also probably isn't what the person showing it to you is representing it as.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And also I had a broader point because you brought up the whole, like you were getting into, like, how people don't have a stake in it and they're just talking shit on Twitter. I think a lot of this is everybody's wrapped up in their little parasocial tribe based on what fucking podcast or Twitter streamer they watch.
Mm-hmm.
And as a consequence of that, you can have two people that basically agree on everything, but because they're talking about it in slightly different ways, they think that they disagree. And then they go to war with each other and it's insane and stupid. And yeah, that's kind of what I feel about that. I think people need to, like, calm the fuck down and actually talk to each other and realize that at the end of the day, we don't have a say in anything that's happening. So we really shouldn't get that angry about it because it doesn't fucking matter what we think or what we say. So yeah, that's basically it. Also, please do a live show somewhere in the Northeast again sometime. I can't be going out to California.
We're talking about going to New York. I don't know if you met TJ. He was there. He was the blind gentleman. That's my booking agent and very good friend for the last, almost 20 years. I think it's been about 20 years. And we were talking yesterday about doing a book thing in New York. So I will be in the East Coast sooner than later.
All right, cool. I just need like a couple of weeks notice and then I can get my friend to drive me down there. He lives halfway between where I live and down there. So yeah, I'll keep us posted on that and I'll see if I can make it. Also, I would pay money to see Ben Dixon whoop fucking Destiny's ass. I would pay a lot of money to see that shit.
I was very close. I was this close to sending Ben a message and being like, just like stop trying to call him out on Twitter and just challenge him to a fight, and then you won't do anything. Like, just challenge him to a fight. Like, you want to fight about it? That's how you stop most bullshit. If you go to a bar, hey, you gonna fight about it? And nobody wants to fight about it. There's very few people that want to fight about silly shit.
Oh, like the interactions I have online and the interactions I have in real life are very different, and I'm sure you can guess why I haven't seen me.
Yeah. Because you're what? Are you about 6'4", 6'5"?
No, I'm just 6 feet, but I'm also like, my shoulders are ridiculous. I look like a friggin' JoJo character. So yeah, no one starts shit with me in real life.
there's just this thing, right, where people love like the ambiguity of the shit talk, and you can talk all the big shit you want to talk. And I'm always like, look, man, you're not going to do anything. And then I have this wonderful woman right here who maybe you met in New York as well that tells me, you need to stop. You need to stop. And then I go, you right. and then I stop.
No, that's just how it is. I mean, a lot of these people that don't have, like, they're not used to real interactions with real people in real life. That's pretty friggin' obvious. Yes. I can guarantee they've never been in a fight before.
Most people haven't. And if you have been in a fight and you've been hit,
most people haven't.
You don't like to get, like, I don't want to get hit. I'm not trying to get hit.
Who does?
I'm walking. You can call me so many names in real life, and I'm not really going to give a shit. I'm not trying to get hit, and is it worth it? Names ain't worth it to me.
No, I learned that lesson a long fucking time ago. I mean, that's part of growing up.
Lenny Power says, you ain't gonna do shit has been true 9 out of 10 times. I've said it in the champagne room. I stopped people from yelling in San Francisco. There was this dude coming and a bike guy. He almost hit the bike guy, and they were yelling at each other. And I just yelled out, you ain't finna do nothing. And he looked at me kind of like shook, and the bike dude looked shook, like, oh shit, this got real. That was just because now everybody's watching them. It's like when you yell that out and everybody's watching you, it's like, oh, you can't perform now. It's like that's so you know what it is. But hey, thank you very much for the call. We have to take all these calls.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Peace out. On to the next Toussaint.
On to the next one.
What do you, Toussaint? You are like the best internet person because first of all, I almost feel like no one knows who you are online.
It's
anymore.
True.
So, and you don't really talk shit. You have the funniest posts.
I try.
Oh, side note, we're doing movie night Friday, and there is a poll that we're taking what you guys want to see. I'm in such a democratic mood lately.
Democratic mood. What the hell? I'm in a democratic mood.
I'm in a democratic mood. So you guys get to choose between what are the movies? Is Nightmare on Elm Street 3 by far the superior film, and Friday the 13th Part 4 also the superior film.
No, it's not Part 4. It's Part 5.
4.
5.
4. It's the final chapter.
5 is the final chapter, according to what you sent me.
I sent you a lie.
Do you know who's winning? You want to know who's winning?
Who's winning?
Well, actually, just voting to see the results is winning, but part 4 or 5, the final chapter, is winning.
That's a good one. I get that one confused with the one with the black dude that's singing in the toilet before he gets killed. And you're like, why are you singing? Like, who decided? He's like taking his shit. He's like, oh, these burritos is fucking with me. And he goes to the bathroom, and his girlfriend is like shaking the outhouse. And then he decides to just start singing. I'm like, who does that?
Wow.
Who in my own house? I live alone. Crap with the door open all the time. I never think to sing. It's the last thing on my mind.
You sing in the kitchen.
I do. And I sing throughout the house. I sing when I'm writing these scripts, but I do not sing in the doo-doo room. Especially with my girlfriend on the other side of the door backing me up. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. And she's on the other side. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. I'm like, who is this happy to take shit?
Jesus.
I've never been around a woman. I've been around a few in my life that are like, are you about to take a shit? Oh, I'd love to sit on the outside of the door and sing. Listen in.
Sit outside the door and sing. Oh my gosh.
Like that movie is worth that scene right there. Even watching it as a child, I was like, who does that? Who sings? Maybe if you're like an infant, like when my little kids were learning how to crap in the toilet, you want to sing little songs. Like, congratulations for the turd. Right?
For the turd? All right. Unbelievable.
My son, my 5-year-old, I had dinner with him and his mom when I went to the Bay Area. And she goes, take him to go get his hands washed or whatever. So we'd go into the bathroom. I was like, I think you have to pee. He goes, I don't have to pee, Dad. Just to wash my hands. I was like, no, I think you have to pee. He's like, I don't have to pee. I was like, just humor me. And I sang a little song while he was peeing. I told you had to pee, and now you see. He was like, I gotta pee. And I was like, there we go. That's so different than being an adult. And
you can do that in your mind as an adult. You just can't do it out loud.
You don't do it aloud with your significant other on the other side of the door.
You don't do that.
Like,
thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. All right, Tucson, you want to push the next call through?
Next call.
You got to do the thing.
Calling from a 308 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it is Kowalski from the great state of Nebraska.
Nebraska is a great state because you guys lose your shit on Saturdays in Lincoln.
Exactly. It's a great party town. But, I'm only like 2.5 hours from Destiny. Would you like me to go get them?
Yes. Oh, Destiny's in Nebraska? Hell yeah. Yeah. Go get him and say, hey.
Yeah, he's in Omaha.
Oh, he's in Omaha. Son of a bitch. Should we do a live thing in Omaha and just call him out the whole time?
Oh, my God.
I'd be down.
I like Omaha. Oh, where did I play the last time I was in Omaha? I can't remember the name of the place. 2016 was the last time I was there. Kowalski, you still
there? I was curious. Yeah, sorry about that. Rural areas, cell reception's not great. It's basically the 1800s. This is a rotary phone. So I was hoping, since I get to call in here, that I could talk at you for a while, which seems like the right thing for, cis heterosexual Protestant white male.
Go for it. Stage is yours.
Now, as everyone is well aware, I am kind of known for agricultural stuff because, being the whole farmer thing and the descendants of settlers, that's what we like to say for whitewashing the word colonizer. Anywho, agriculture is a pretty old profession, if you can believe it. Now, most people would say it goes back 12,000 years, but recent archaeological finds have found that we probably discovered agriculture about 30,000 years ago. But we weren't able to do a whole lot with it until about 12,000 years ago, solely because of how chaotic climate was.
Mm-hmm.
We've been living in a time where the climate is so stable that we can actually, build systems and surpluses. We can find rhythms and such. We think of coastlines and rivers as permanent fixtures of our lives, when in reality, they ebb and flow just like everything else. I'm just curious if you guys have ever thought about systems like that going that far and what your concerns are with the looming threat of climate change.
Tucson, that is a you question.
That's a you question.
Yeah, you're always yelling at me about climate change.
I think about it all the time. I think about how the indigenous people lived here before, the settlers came. How they would move with the weather, or move. Just move.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so static now. Like if there was an infestation, they pick up and move. But we're everything's so permanent in our minds, and we've lost that flexibility.
I mean, I live in a country where there's parts of it where water is only available at certain times of the day. And even my water here gets shut off randomly with no rhyme or reason. There's no warning. There's no, number I can call. There's no website that'll tell me when it's going to come back on.
You live in the desert.
Desert ocean, right? So it's a weird climate down here. But even the growth of a place like Tijuana, which is much larger than it was, 20 years ago, has a lot to do with climate change, NAFTA, but also climate change. What we see with walling yourself off from people to kind of hoard resources, like we were talking about Israel, Palestine, parts of, Bangladesh. There's places all over the world where people wall themselves off from the resourceless, definitely parts of Brazil. I think that's a reality, and that's all due to climate change.
Yeah.
And we don't really talk about climate refugees that much.
It's coming.
What we see at the southern border has a lot to do with people fleeing, resource deficient areas where people of means are going to hoard it all. So I think about it and it scares me. I don't have anything cool to say other than I'm frightened. I don't know if that's the right thing. I don't really.
Well, if I can interject there,
Go ahead.
I am actually not quite as dismayed by it because of a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we live lives that make us feel alone, amortized just as individuals, but this is not an individual problem. It's not even a singular national problem. It is a global problem. Mm-hmm. And there are billions of people on this planet that, if put to work, could easily overcome all of these issues and challenges. And if you guys are concerned with water, just got to say, Nebraska is sitting on, an ocean of fresh water beneath our feet called the Ogallala Aquifer. And there's only 2 million people in this state, and we're bigger than all of New England combined.
Ouch.
It is a very large state. So are you telling me you got a room there for me is what you're telling me?
I got a room for you in about 2 months. If you think you can live in the snow.
Ew.
I've experienced your fall. I've experienced your summer. I've experienced your fall several times. I've ran from a tornado. And I saw it. I was on the highway and I saw it and I was like, holy shit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm capable of doing.
Well, you just got to remember, snow here isn't that bad. We only get like 30 inches over the course of the whole winter. The issue is that we usually get straight line 50 mile an hour winds, so the drifts get up to like 8-10 feet.
Yeah, that is that's some year 3000 into the world, John Cusack's in the movie bullshit for me.
Well, I am going to get back to working on my combine, but I appreciate you taking my call.
Kowalski, I appreciate you. So you have a very good night, brother.
Good night, Kowalski.
Kowalski came out to the New York show. I think we need to let Kowalski came all the way to New York.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. And he partied with us at the bar for a little bit as well. So it's a cool dude right there. Look, man, climate change slaps me in the face every so often. I think it was last week before I left, our water was out for a week. It's frustrating when you turn on this And you're just like, please don't, please don't, please. Ah, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. Wah, wah.
Well, contrast that with the floods in New York.
I saw that. That's so crazy.
What was remarkable about it was that the storm didn't have a name. It was just a random storm that caused all that trouble. Very delicate systems we have over
There's a
here.
storm over there. There's a storm over there. What's his name over there?
We have a super chat. I don't know if you'd like to answer this.
Go for it. What does it say?
Can I get it on the screen? Come on.
It's on the screen. Have Doug and Matt patched up their differences, and how do you feel about like-minded leftists taking their grievances public? Matt Leck?
Yeah, there's 17 Matts on the left. So
I don't know anything about any beef Matt has with Doug, because when I haven't talked to Matt Leck in a minute. We were trying to arrange a live show, and that was like the last conversation, and it was very, very brief. I talked to David Griscom way more than I talked to Matt Leck, and it's not like a slight on Matt. It's just he's a busy person. Oh, you mean Matt Bender? I don't know Matt Bender at all.
He was on the show one time.
One time.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Lane is an interesting character, and this is just my 2 cents on Doug Lane. He's an interesting character that is a weirdo, and he likes being a weirdo. And for a long time, he could exist in this world being a weirdo, and I don't think you can be a weirdo like that anymore. And that's kind of where I'll leave it. I think he still says stuff that has merit. Oh, okay. I just got a text message. Is Matt McManus? I didn't know they were beefing at all. I don't know what they're beefing about.
What?
McManus is like the nicest guy in the world. I talk to Matt sometimes on the side too. Matt is like super nice. Super nice.
They have beef? What the hell?
And I talked to Doug recently because when I went up north, I saw my friend Conan, went to go see Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends live, and Conan's tour is going up north. And I asked him if Doug and Jeremy Salmon could get into the Portland show. And he said, sure, no problem. So that was a lot. And I told Doug, I was like, hey, Conan's coming up. You should go check him out. Doug was like, oh, really? I should go see him. And I like his music. It should be a good time. And that was like the last I talked to Doug. But I didn't know those two had beef. I don't know how legitimate it is, because Twitter beef, as Ben Burgess will tell you, is real different than like real world shit. Like there's people that have said some really not nice things to Ben, and he's seen them in real life. They were real fucking friendly. So I don't know how serious that shit is, especially for a guy like Doug.
Interesting.
He does not take that kind of stuff because he is such a weird guy. I mean, we did the Are You a White Ally with Doug, and he did not get he didn't get offended at all. Jesus.
He's got chunky calves.
Doug.
You
met Doug in New York. So you were all hanging out in New York.
We're hanging out in New York.
In the summer party.
He has floofy hair.
He does have floofy hair. He's a silly dude. He's a silly dude. Right? I need to turn the volume down so you guys don't know when Ben is texting me middle fingers. You have to put this super chat on the screen, because this is what I did not think I was going to get, and I'm totally cool with this.
Show.
That's not it.
There it is.
You are losing it, Toussaint. That's not the super chat.
Oh, my computer is slow.
Oh, now it's the computer's fault.
Shut up. Here.
Talk about your favorite Skinny Puppy album and what Justin Broderick is like in person. I am not the biggest Skinny Puppy fan, as I actually come from a totally different musical world than that industrial kind of heavy music world. But because of the group I was in with my ex. Most of these posters you see behind me are Le Fin Absolute du Monde posters from the band I was in with my ex. Justin Broderick did a remix for us. So we got to go on tour with Godflesh. I think I'll take it off the wall.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, no, I can't. I taped it, but I don't know if you can see it, but I still have my Godflesh tour badge because that was a tour that really changed my life, actually. And we did a show in LA, and at the Fonda Theater, I think it was sold out. And the Fonda, the backstage is like underground kind of. We got there, we had dressing rooms with our name on it. We were like, we made it. and we went out on stage. We had no idea what the place looked like because our merch, we had a friend run merch for us, which is in front of house, and it was just packed. It was like people. I saw people everywhere. It was like, oh shit. And they didn't know who we were. And that's like the worst feeling in the world, to play a show and no one knows who you are in a place that big, because they're like, entertain us. It's like that Nirvana song, right? And we did our thing like we always do it. We, as hard as we could do it, and people really dug it. And one of the people that really dug it was Seven Key from Skinny Puppy. And as we got done, pulled all our stuff off stage, we were really stoked. So we just ran. I don't know if Cindy ran with me. I ran to go hug our friend, and at the time he was doing some like management stuff for us. He had hooked the whole tour thing up and the remix up with Justin. So we went to go hug him because this was like this great moment. And as we're going to go hug him, Seven from Skinny Puppy is holding up a Le Fin shirt, and he was like, hell yeah, and he had the vinyl. He was like, hell yeah. And so there's a picture of some people that were fans of Le Fin that they took of him in Seattle. And when he went on tour, he was rocking his Le Fin shirt. There's pictures of him like all over the world with his Le Fin shirt. So I think that's pretty cool. So I should have his favorite Skinny Puppy record because of that. Justin Broderick in real life is one of the nicest, most humble cats. He's a little introverted. Great fucking dude. I got to see him a few months ago when his tour came came to San Diego. My daughter came to visit at the same time, so me and my daughter rolled up to hang out with him for a little bit after the show, and it was a lot of fun. And I've been trying to get him on the show. He's just too nervous to come on. He was telling me about it. I was like, Just, man, come on, bro. You're doing interviews with all these other people. It's like, man, you know how I am. I was like, yeah, but we won't talk politics, I promise. But I'm still trying to get him back on. But that was one of the craziest experiences to do that tour. The press run after that, the way things kind of changed for us a little bit musically after that. So Justin Broderick is one of the few real cats out there. We have no familial affiliations with him. We don't have the same management. There was like nothing that we had in common other than someone sent him our stuff and he was like, I dig it. And you don't really get people like that too often in the business. All right. I'll shut up now. Sorry. You want to push the next call through? Pumpkin.
Pushing. Calling from a 6-year-old.
This is Andrew. I did the poster.
Hey!
Hello?
Andrew, what's up, man?
How's it going? Not much. Just working on projects and stuff. How's it going with you?
It is going. Andrew, who's on the phone right now, Andrew did the poster for Kayfabe.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't done an email. I was going to send an email out to everybody, and it'll come out probably tomorrow. I'll have some time to do it. To show that the poster's out. We should have it ready by November to mail out to people. So Andrew hit me up and volunteered that he wanted to design the poster. I didn't have a design. I had some things in mind, and we talked for, I don't know how many weeks we talked about it. And I love the kayfabe poster. I'm pretty stoked for it. I'm really excited to start doing these premieres. Unfortunately, I was supposed to watch a first draft of a final draft, but I have to do. I'll be probably not on air most of next week because I'll be editing another documentary that a friend of show Alexander Herbert's doing about the punk scene in Russia, in Georgia. But Andrew, what'd you call to yell about?
Yeah, how's it going, man? I was calling about. I saw your show with Cory Doctorow about how we part of it was how we kind of rent everything and everything's kind of digital now. We don't really own physical things anymore. Mm-hmm. And I kind of relate to that in that this is more from the creative side. Mm-hmm. But from the creative, but when I do illustrations now, it's all digital. Like for Photoshop, because I do a lot of stuff for magazines and newspapers. So with that, it's they're really tight deadlines. So digital is it's a lot quicker than doing a painting, but at the same time, you kind of give something up because I don't really own. I mean, I own the PSD file. I don't think it's the same thing as having the painting there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't sell the original, but that's the point. You don't have the actual physical thing. I don't know if you guys talked about, because it's not like I'm renting it, but it's I don't have the original. So yeah, it's kind of I just kind of related to that show a lot. So thank you for having that talk with Cory Doctorow. That's a really good show.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that a little bit because I deal with it because I have to use an old ripped version of Final Cut. So all the new stuff that you can do, all the add-ons, I can't do. So
right,
I noticed same thing with music software. Music software to me is a little different because I actually record, with live instruments. So that makes it a little bit easier. I don't need as many plugins that are offered with newer stuff, but there's just such an industry built around all the extra stuff that you need. You can't just, buy a suite like you could, many moons ago and do your thing. And I know it's the same thing with Adobe. I'm assuming you're using Adobe or something like that.
Yep, Adobe. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a monthly fee for that now, right?
I did the year plan. It's a bit cheaper, but it's still $600. It's $600. It's oh my god.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that, it's my heart stops a little bit because when I see that charge on my card, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, man. It is what it is.
It's frustrating for.
No, but I love that show.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, I just want to say, I love that show with Cory Doctorow because I felt that but yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your call, Andrew. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest?
No, that's it. But no, thanks, man. It was good working. I love the boat. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I love working with you, man. It was great. So I hope you have a good night, man.
I'm gonna try. Thank you very much, Andrew. Peace out.
Peace out, man.
That was Andrew who designed the poster. That's hella dope. He called in. I haven't shared the poster. Oh, is there a way I could do it? I don't know if there's a way I could do it on here. I want to share it with you guys. We'll just, you know what? I'll share it tomorrow because we're going to be on air tomorrow anyway. How are you feeling right now, Toussaint?
I'm feeling good. We have a super chat here.
Oh my goodness.
The other half of MT's coffee. Thank you very much. I miss Revolutionary Reckoning collabs. It's been a year since the live show LA, and I would love to see y'all again.
Well, once again, I will be in the San Francisco Bay Area on November 18th for the book launch party. Josh, I think you are a metal punk guy. If so, it is going to be super fun. There's going to be people from, all the old school bands. I can't say the names just yet. Only name I can say is Chris Contos. So if you're familiar with Machine Head, Contos played on the first, I think, 2 Machine Head records. He definitely did a tour with them recently for the 25th anniversary of Burn My Eyes. And then he's in Forbidden now. And of course, he's an original drummer in Attitude Adjustment. So Contos is going to be there, and he started hitting up all these people that he wanted to be a part of it. And again, I can't say all the names, but I was shocked at the people that are going to be down to do this. So if you guys can make it out to the Bay Area, it's going to be a fucking ball because those guys are fun and they have stories galore. A lot of that little essay comes from conversations with guys like Contos for hours and 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 hours.
Are we ready?
Are we ready? Do your thing, Toussaint.
Okay. Calling from a 732 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh man, I got through. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Ramon from Jersey.
Oh shit! Jersey caller. Hey, what's up?
We don't sound like that, man.
Somebody say Ramon.
Yeah, man. No, look, man. I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't really call in the podcast and shit, but man, I appreciate the show, man. You guys do a good job. I'm a big fan of Pascal, man. I like the Mau Hour and all that. He got some good stuff on it. So it was cool, man. I appreciate it. Oh, and I think I said I wanted to just mention the Palestinian. Look, I don't want to start no YouTube beef or nothing over here, right? But I noticed, because I followed geopolitics a long time, and like the Ukraine, all that. I've been following all this shit for years, and I just noticed it just so happens that, and with this whole, with what's been popping off in Palestine, man, like especially a lot of these, and just keeping it a buck, it's mostly like the white geopolitics commentators. They have a clarity when it comes to Ukraine, but when it comes to Palestinians, they got a whole different, way of talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of, I find that very interesting. It's just like, it kind of makes your eyes, so kind of showing some true colors,
It's Ramon telling it like it is. Somebody say Ramon. No, you're not gonna Toussaint. You're not gonna give it to me. Toussaint?
Definitely.
Oh, you're killing me, Toussaint.
Ramon?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah, Toussaint. Yeah, I appreciate what you do there.
Let's try one time. Somebody say Ramon.
Ramon.
There you go. We did it.
God.
You don't remember that?
No.
He in Beat Street, Ramon. He died.
Great.
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Beat Street. Beat Street. His name was actually Ramo. It wasn't Ramon. Yeah, it was the tagger in Beat Street.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, the tagger in Beat Street. He died, and he was the friend of the rapper dude. And at the end, they have the concert. He goes, "Somebody say no." Okay, well, look.
Well, Jason, if you ever make your way out to Jersey, man, definitely let me know. So.
Well, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. We got to take Bert Cooper. He's from Jersey. So, yeah, I'll be out there with Bert.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, definitely, It's boring out here sometimes, man. It'd be good to have you come out.
Hey, we can have a party. Don't even worry about it. Thank you very much, Ramon. Brother, you have a good night.
All right, man.
Thank you for your support.
Got you, man.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for watching. This is fun. Look.
It's fun.
Look, Ramon, check this out. Everywhere is boring. All right?
That's true.
Everywhere is boring. People make shit fun. And I feel like if we went to Jersey, we would have fun.
For sure.
We would have fun. Yes. We should do that when I go to New York. We should make a trip to Jersey. Would you be down?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. As long as I got my little black, actually little. You're what? You're all of 5'8".
Here we go. This guy.
Can we just like traverse around the East Coast, Toussaint? That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
We need to make Pascal do one of these.
Yeah.
But he would have to get a soundboard so he can take phone calls.
True.
Oof. You know how hard it was? Do you people know how hard it was to get Pascal to get a mic stand for his microphone? Pascal with a soundboard is going to be like my dad with a cellular phone.
The phone. We have a super chat.
Oh, shit.
Did you dig 80s shoegaze? If so, favorite band?
I'm rediscovering a lot of that stuff, and me and Cindy and LaFin used to get compared to the Cocteau Twins a lot, and neither one of us really listened to it growing up. And I'm rediscovering it now, and I'm kind of all about that. Jesus and Mary Chain, Slow Dive. I don't know if they're an 80s band though. I guess I would ask, what would you call 80s shoegaze? Because to me, like the Smiths,
yeah,
are real shoegazy, right?
Yeah.
And Tucson has definitely called the house and heard me, listening to the Smiths.
Listening to
like a sad boy.
How Soon Is Now and crying. How soon is now, MT? And I'm like, I don't
know. Why won't she call back? You shut your mouth. Hopefully people go back and listen to them. I keep saying LaFin a lot. I still get a little bit of royalty money from that. So go back and listen to LaFin Absolute Dumont on Spotify, Apple, wherever the hell else you listen to music. That was some fun music. Justin Broderick was like, you guys created your own genre. I was like, fuck yeah. So there you go. Nice. Genre creator.
We have a caller from out of the country.
Oh shit. Dun dun dun.
Get them through.
They are through.
Hurry.
The volume's up.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hello.
This is Christoph calling from your former stomping grounds in Vancouver. Bonsoir, Toussaint.
Oh, shit. What's going on from Vancouver?
Not much. You know how it is up here. It's rainy, but,
Yes.
It's going well.
Yes. Tell Kuba we said hi.
Okay. I was calling because I've been listening to the show for a while. I'm a sponsor or whatnot, and I remember when Pascal and you first got together and were teaming up. And I was like, oh shit, because Jason, you got a lot of humor, and Pascal is a bit. At first, he seemed more serious. So I was like, how's this going to work with the chemistry? But in the end, now you guys are like a really good 2-for-1 punch or not. Pascal, he even got some humor too. And Toussaint, I'm just so glad to allow, you keep the brothers in line. So I love your presence there.
Thank you.
But and I like Pascal because he asks the tough questions. That's what I like about him.
I mean, that's why we like him
too. Also, it's like what you guys bring to the table of your analysis of race and capitalism. It's like a thing you guys helped me see, and now it's hard to unsee it. So now when I'm in conversation, it's hard not to bring that analysis to the table and be like, well, but did you actually think about it this way? So I thank you guys for making me aware of that.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Converting one person at a time. And I have a question from Toussaint. Oh, you delayed me. When are we going to see your beautiful face?
That's a great question. It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever really need the ratings, then I will show my face.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah. There's one thing. A while back, I think you had some thoughts. You guys were talking about Marcus Garvey, right?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
And you were rather critical, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, if you think about how Malcolm X's parents met through the UAIA, and like even I think Nkrumah read his work, and like, couldn't we say that his net effect has been positive, even though he was a bit crooked from what I learned from you guys' conversation?
Mm-hmm. I think most individuals.
That's my question.
Okay, yeah. I think I'll answer it. I think most individuals are complex, and I don't think it's as simple as they're a huckster. But I think there's a little bit of huckster in him. I think much like Kendi, I'll even use the Kendi comparison because I think it's a little closer.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I think it's easy to say it's a hustle, but you have to be a true believer. And then you have to believe that Kendi did all that schooling just to hopefully maybe get to that point. I don't think it's just a one-to-one. It's that simple. And I think you can say the same thing about Garvey. I think there was something he was trying to do, but you get lost in the dollars sometimes. And I think there was limits to what he wanted to do. And I think what he wanted was black fascism in the end, right? That was literally what he called for. He got mad at Mussolini for kind of stealing the term. So, are we happy? Are we in a better place that project never came to fruition? Probably, but that doesn't mean that there's not some value in some of the words. There's not some value in some of the uplift people were able to feel because of his movement. So I'm not a throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm the let's pull back and really look at this from some sort of analytical perspective. But I do hate when people kind of treat him like he's the greatest brother since I don't know MLK.
Right. What do you think, Toussaint?
I agree with what Jason said. He's a complicated figure. I wasn't as ready to look at him in a negative light as others, but sometimes you need to take a step back and listen to what people have to say in terms of their critique. Sometimes they see things that you don't see. So I think he was a true believer. I hold him in a bit higher esteem than the rest of the crew, I think, just because of how he was.
Okay.
But I didn't. There was a lot of information I didn't know. Like I didn't know about the black fascism thing, and most people don't know that about his biography or his legacy. So those are important factors too. It's complicated.
Of course.
That's why I compare him to Kendi.
Okay.
Right? I think I believe in my soul that Kendi believes in his soul that the problem with the world is racism.
Right.
And the dollars definitely start coloring things and confusing things for people. Right? Like we have to be real honest about the dollars. We have to be real honest about that shit. Because sometimes people do bad shit. And, I'm sure Garvey's like, look, if I can get a little bit of this money, I can fix this. And maybe these boats is riggedy. But once I get enough people, I can get a good boat. And I'm sure that it just wasn't a straight up hustle. I believe that in my soul.
But at least Garvey got people on some level to connect in South America, Central America, North America, and so on. I mean, Candy, his baby book, Anti-Racist Baby, I don't know.
Yeah, I look, I'm trying to give a modern day. Okay. You are correct in that. I'm just trying to give more of a modern day comparison of somebody that's kind of a true believer, but that also got caught up in their own hype. And and their theory had flaws, massive flaws. And now you can't see the forest for the trees, but people are patting you on the back. That's some scary shit on a level that I will never understand. To have that level of influence and to be so flawed in my analysis and to be so wrong. There's other individuals at the same time as Garvey that we don't talk about because they didn't have the hype machine that Garvey had. Like last night we gave a shout to Jeff Perry, who wrote the book about Hubert Harrison. That's an important figure when it comes to Black socialism and organizing and things like that in the same time frame. Never gets talked about in the same light as Garvey because there's not the rah-rah bullshit around him. That rah-rah bullshit is so strong, much like anti-racism. When you start talking about like the folly of white people and you say it with dreadlocks and an X in your name, now you're a serious individual. If I spent all my time talking about white people, this, that, and the third, and white supremacy, this, that, and the third, we'd have so many more subscribers. People would take us so much more seriously. But that's for a certain class of Black folks, actually. And it's not the ones that's getting stepped on. So, I don't want to get too much into it and derail the whole show. And I'm sure if Pascal was here, he would derail the whole show by too much into it. Because him and I had a conversation about it earlier today, actually, about like glorification that certain, bougie Negroes get to have, and then they get to be the cats that define the whole time frame, especially when we're talking about like the 80s and shit like that. So yeah, I'll leave it at my take is Garvey is a flawed, complex individual, and I refuse to throw the baby out with the bathwater with him and say he is all bad, but I can't say he's all good either.
Oh, okay. Hey, I just got one quick question, and that is about how do you guys feel about the work of Jared Ball? Because he's kind of I feel he's a bit on you guys' wavelength as, demystifying Black buying power. But I don't think I've seen you guys work together or on that kind of level, like with Black media power and what they're doing over there.
First of all, Jared Ball is light skinned and he's too light and he's not passing the paperback test. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Someone's going to send this to Jared. I'm going to get so much hate mail. I'm just kidding. Jared Ball is a profoundly brilliant individual. What he's been able to do with his channel, Black Power Media, is something for people to in this industry probably to aspire to. We do not agree on everything. That being said, Jared's been on this show before, as you know. He's actually even came in for a champagne room. Jared is a lot of fun. He's also a fellow musician. I think his book on the myth of Black buying power is a profoundly important piece of literature. It's not that long, people, and I think it's free. It's about 90 pages, but it's 90 very important pages that definitely dispel the myth of circulating a dollar around a community. So, no, we don't agree on everything. Jared is more of a Black nationalist, and he'll tell you that. But as far as like, I don't hate anyone on that channel. I watch it from time to time. I'm sure Jared watches us from time to time. Again, we just don't align on a lot of things. So Pascal's been on the show more than me because he aligns a little bit better with them than me. I don't think they know what to do with me, and that's fine. But I wish him and Black Power Media nothing but the best. They're very good, and you guys should check that out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that. Well, just do me one last favor. Say what's up to Pascal for me. And, you know, like, he got some humor. He got jokes. Like, you brought that out of him, Jason. And I give you props for that.
Well, thank you very much. You have a very good night, brother. Thank you.
Okay, love you guys. Peace.
Thank you. Love you too. That was a good call. That was a fun call.
That was
I
awesome.
actually like when people ask the Black Power Media question, because I will be, completely honest. Because Jared's been on the show before, and I've seen the behind the scenes stuff with him as well. So, it's all good, dude. There's the beef that people have is Way's blood. I don't know what Way is blood. Someone says, what does Jason think of Way's blood? Am I saying it right? I don't know what that is. If you have a link to it, send it, because I don't know what it is. I will try to get to it. What is Sad Boy Jason's Champagne Room, Tucson?
I don't know. Is you playing shoegazer music, I guess?
We're not gonna have live music. We're definitely playing some fun music at the event for the book launch. I'm so stoked for the book launch. Like, I want to say the names that are gonna be there. Oh, this is killing me that I can't say the names yet. Because I feel like once I say the names, the tickets go on sale.
Don't spoil it.
And I also want to say that I'm glad the caller reminded everyone that Pascal has a sense of humor. Once again, we have to give the greatest shout out to Cedric Johnson, who told Toure Reed to come on the show, who then told Pascal, hey, you need to hook up with this young guy out of Oakland. And we've been doing this. Pascal and I have been doing this for 3 years. This month marks how many years, Tucson?
How many? Wait, what?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years of This Is Revolution.
That's a long time.
That's why we do the TIR rewinds, guys, because we have so much material that you guys haven't that experienced, and because I want to say maybe the second year or third year, we just did so many really good deep dive history shows with guys like Gene Bajlan, Kuba, and even Pascal, that we were like, we should go in the archives and play some of these because people just missed them. We weren't that big at the time. The show's growth has been truly exponential. Like I said, 2 years ago, we were celebrating our 100th download from the audio only podcast. And here we are, over 650 episodes now, and we're coming up on the 1,000,000th download. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
We're gonna have 1 million. That's just the audio. So this show is also kind of a newer thing, because originally it was an audio only show that I preferred to do that way.
Are you ready?
No. Yes.
No. Yes.
Do it.
Calling from a 480 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my name's Mark. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey!
I know. Florida West calling in. I guess first off, I really appreciate hearing Kowalski's insights. They've been very good interesting over the past few years on MR. And also what Ramon had to say. As an American Jew speaking, I think it's right about the two dual sides people have and that sort of thing. And but the real reason I called, so I guess I'm in an odd predicament, which I'd like to ask for your input on. So a little bit of backstory is I had renal failure for a few years and finally got a kidney transplant. around the time George Floyd happened in May 2020.
Jesus. Okay.
And luckily, I have good insurance through my work. I work for the Arizona State Retirement System.
Okay.
Which is a state pension for teachers and public workers.
Mm-hmm. And
I instead of going for like the private industry or for like business and turn a dollar into $1.10, whatever Don Draper said. I thought, okay, that's nice. I can have a safe environment and get a pension. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since COVID happened, a little before that, I started growing rare and threatened tropical fruit trees.
Okay.
So I grow, stuff you're in Mexico, right? I don't know which region, mm-hmm. but what region?
I'm in Baja, so I don't really. It's not tropical up here.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Baja Norte, so it's not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I focus on a lot of stuff in like Brazil.
Okay.
And it's that's a very seaport threatened region, the mm-hmm. Atlantic Forest and the Cerrado region.
Mm-hmm.
This comes back to me is so I've kind of become a little bit of a conservationist because I'm importing seeds from locals who get it from a village and it might be good, might not be. So it's a very hit or miss thing. But I've been following a story out here for the past few years about Saudi Arabia farm company. They would use groundwater for free. They have like a huge plot of land in La Paz, which is like quartzite area
mm-hmm.
west of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And they would grow this water intensive crop, alfalfa, for feed for their cows or livestock or whatever. And then they ship it back to Saudi Arabia. So they're using free groundwater of Arizona. And then there was a Reveal News article about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the author's name. Basically exposing that the Arizona State Pension invested $175 million out of like the $425 million project. And so, hearing about that, I was pretty, upset that I worked for, some less desirable people than I'd want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because my end goal is like, hey, I need to have health insurance for the rest of my life. And also I want to start a little fruit company and sell exotic fruits to local restaurants or whatnot. And that'd be a good little side gig and, really put my interest into. So now I didn't confront him, but I asked the director a few questions at the agency-wide normal Q&A he has every quarter and got a real political response. And a lot of people's input was, we're in this so our members can, make money for our members. So I reached out to HR. I'm like, hey, I just want to get something on the record, how much I'm opposed to this and how shameful and abhorrent it is. And now I guess I'm going to have a meeting with the director. And my question for you is like, I don't want to seem like I'm blowing this out of proportion, but I guess Dave's known about it for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know if it's like worth the fight at this point. Like it's already happened. They're trying to get out of it or something, but it's still going to be a few years. But just the idea of like, we're making our members money, but who cares in the future if a gallon of water is $5 or something like that in Arizona? I mean, you're aware of the concern being in the desert of Baja.
I am.
So that's where my real.
You called first of all, thank you for your call, but you called the wrong person because I have definitely burned many a bridge on my beliefs and kind of felt nothing. Again, I always say there's a reason why I'm down here, and it's not because I love surfing and tacos. It's because I made a lot of interesting, decisions with my heart, especially when it came to jobs and especially when it came to like fairness, especially when it came to what's right. It's not easy for me to make sometimes what's the word I'm looking for? Just the mature decision. Which is why, I have this wonderful group of people that I can talk to before I make bad decisions. What say you, Toussaint?
Oh, I don't know, man. I was doing producer stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Man, look, man, you have something that I don't have access to, and that's a pension, and that's important. And I know it hurts your quote unquote leftist sensibilities to be like, I don't want to upset the apple cart, but I mean, can you do more not upsetting the apple cart?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know I have to put myself first, and capitalism is unruly, and yada yada yada. I get all that. It's just, I don't know. It's like I'm not involved in investments. I'm not that smart. I didn't get those Jewish genes, but I'm just a cog in the internal machine. So I guess like I'm kind of gonna try to drop it, and I was angry about it over the weekend, but calmed down a lot. And I don't know, people, a couple of coworkers said, "Hey, thanks for asking that," but it's just kind of profound that like no one in the whole agency seems like morally opposed to it. That I've heard at least. But
I'll give
maybe
you.
That's just.
This is what I'll say. I blew the whistle on the homeless shelter that I worked at for some practices they were doing that were effed up, and I lost a job, and I wasn't able to get unemployment actually. So I was in a horrible, and I was doing the show at this time too. Mm-hmm.
I mean, weren't you fired? Aren't you available for unemployment?
No, I wasn't fired.
Oh, okay.
I walked off because they were exposing people to COVID, and it wasn't just us as staff; it was also the residents as well. And there was just really sloppy practices that were going on that were beyond that as well, as far as like treatment and how staff should approach certain situations. Like, they'd be like, "Hey, we think someone's got a gun in their room. Can you go get it?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, this is a grown ass man with a gun. I don't know if you thought I was Bruce Leroy, but I'm not. I'm regular ass Jason. And I'm not finna disarm some grown ass man that's high out of his mind on methamphetamines and take a firearm away from him. And I got threatened, definitely. It was an unsafe environment for a lot of the people that work there. And I voiced my concerns.
And with COVID and all that.
Oh, dude, it was a fucking nightmare. But I voiced my concerns, and you know what? After I left, all those things that I brought up changed. The thing that sucked is the programs that I started got killed, but the safety protocols that were very important, I'm talking about like physical safety of staff and residents, those things, a lot of those things changed. So what really gained, what happened after I left? You know what I mean? What happened after I brought up a stink? Not too many people wanted to cover the story because it wasn't the scandal that they wanted. Shout out to Davey D in the Bay Area. He was the only person that brought me on to cover that story. So you kind of got to ask yourself, what can you get out of it positively? What can be done positively if you make a stink? Can you do more with your pension than possibly without it? And that's how I
mean,
look
who
at
knows
it.
what it's going to be like in 25 years when I get it, or whatever, 20 years. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point, and it's become a little bit more of a national story now. And this past week, the governor kind of trying to close the loophole of the law where you can just pump out groundwater a limited amount. So over the next few years, hopefully, it kind of comes to a close. So, but it's like I'm not going to have any sort of impact on billions of dollars of investments or anything like that. So I guess it's better just to keep my head down and try to beat the man and get a pension.
I mean, you can be the whistleblower. You can contact reporters. I'll tell you this much: there's some interesting stories in California about water and places that actually don't even have water in California that no one talks about, especially in the Central Valley, because we also grow crops that are super water intensive in places that are dry as a fucking desert. But
like Bakersfield,
a little further north, but yeah.
Stockton. Okay.
No, that's south, but yeah, further north in the Central Valley. So,
right.
somewhere like the Modesto.
I haven't been to Cali in a while.
I
mean, there was a reveal news report, but that's it. But I mean, that's sufficient in my mind. But yeah, I'm not. I guess I can make a big speech internally, but yeah, what does it do at the end of the day?
And it's what is it going to cause? You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that the treatment of my staff was uncalled for, and the way that people were being treated in the building, it was fucked up all the way around, and it needed to be addressed. And some of it got addressed in me leaving, but I also had to deal with the fact that coworkers got mad at me for leaving. And to this day, I feel like shit about that. People that I really cared about were like, once you left, like, you don't understand how important that was for you to be there and be a part of this thing. And I didn't think I was that important. I have horrible low self-esteem. So you kind of got to think of it all the way around. You know, how valuable are you there to people? So I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you for taking my call. Best of luck to you both, and have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. You too.
I love Arizona. Some of my best friends are Arizonians.
Can I just say this?
Mm-hmm.
My therapist told me that sometimes the best way to be a leftist is to keep your job and to be subversive at work.
Ooh.
So if I have a choice between giving somebody a refund and not giving them a refund, I'm giving them the refund.
Don't tell people what you do.
I'm not telling anybody what I do. And I'm not saying what job that is.
Go down. That would shut the whole show down.
I'm not saying which job that is either. I've been subversive at a couple of jobs. It can help.
I miss Arizona. I was talking about, I was talking with a woman from Arizona, Conan's guitar player that he was touring with us from Arizona. We're having a great Arizona talk. I love Arizona. Someone said this phone number wrong. Sue Nyman, the phone number is 510-319-1899. What is the coconut phenomenon?
Yeah. The person.
Are we going to run out of cocoa butter? Is that what it's saying? Because there's going to be a lot of ashy niggas.
Somebody asked if I'm an insurance adjuster. That is so funny. No. They define it as coconut, a Latino who thinks they are white.
A coconut is a Latina that thinks they're white?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what the phenomenon is? It's like a thing?
I didn't know it was a phenomenon.
Oh, them hoes ain't here.
Them hoes ain't here.
They are not here.
I don't know them hoes.
Sorry, I said that. That was a champagne room comments. I'm not Jason Myles. I'm Gene Bajlan. Bajlan. No, seriously, if it's a phenomenon, if it's phenomenon, it definitely ain't out here. I have yet to see one of these people act like that out here. Oh no. No. Like that woman in Get Out. No.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. I should do a live stream in downtown because I'm gonna go eat after this. I'm so hungry, and I'm gonna go to downtown Rosarito, and I should be like, "You see any coconuts?"
Jeez. Hey, you coconut over here?
Hey, lady, you with the nalgas.
No.
You guys will find out why I'm single.
Why does Jason keep getting slapped? Probably has to do with what nalgas means.
This was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought people were going to call up, and that's why.
And another thing. Your mother.
But what about that bitch?
Nice. We have somebody who's been holding on for almost half an hour.
Is it hold on for one more second? You want to sing the rest? You want to sing the rest? Sing it. Then sing the rest.
I wasn't singing.
Hold on for one more day. You know you love Wilson Phillips. You ready to do your thing? You ready to do your thing?
Ready. Calling from a 716 area code. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how are you doing? This is Ian from Buffalo, New York.
Hell yeah. My favorite bands from Buffalo.
Yeah. So I originally called to talk kind of about a weird thing, or I could talk about a more serious thing, depending on which way you want to go about it. But the thing I originally called about was noticing that the right wing, for some reason, seems to have a lock on blues and rock guitar for some reason as of late. I don't know if you've noticed this, but like I watched that crazy right wing channel, Real America Voice. It's like on Samsung TV for some reason, and like Ted Nugent has a show.
Oof.
And they play like during the breaks, like they'll have insane right wing conspiracy theorists, farther right than Newsmax. And then on the breaks, they have this like canned, like really good, smooth jazz for some reason. And the other day I saw that Joe Bonamassa, I don't know if you know him,
Yes.
one of the
Yes.
great,
Mm-hmm.
He was on Adam Carolla's show.
Sounds right.
What's that?
I said sounds about right.
Yeah, and I just find it interesting that culturally,
mm-hmm.
a certain segment of the white population, like they align with guitar. I guess it's weird for me. I'm a blues guitar player. I grew up playing in like blues bars and stuff. And, there's always been the phenomenon of white guys playing blues, me being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird that like they embrace the guitar aesthetic. Like Ted Nugent plays guitar on his show.
Mm-hmm.
And in the broader culture though, guitar is kind of like lost prominence.
Yes and no. I would push back on that.
Me.
I would push back on that and say no,
Okay.
Because what I see on social media is tons of extremely young people shredding. And I know shred guitar and blues guitar is different, but I see people not just shredding metal and rock. I see people shredding R&B. I see people shredding like chill stuff, almost jazz-like stuff.
Yeah, the neo soul, all the neo soul stuff.
Some of these neo soul shredders, I my mouth drops open when I see that. But it's a class conversation that we don't like to have too much. There was a time when we had music in schools, and there was a burgeoning black middle class, and that's a time when you get in the 70s, in the early 70s, and late 60s, and you get in these urban centers. Cincinnati, Oakland, California, LA, Chicago, parts of New York. You get all these cats that get instruments and just turn them out, right? With funk and then blues and then rock and kind of a combination of all of it, jazz as well. And once you start losing that funding in schools, we start seeing that go by the wayside. And who can afford to get instruments in 2023? Kind of middle class kids that come.
I mean, that's a good point. Guitars are insanely expensive now. thousands, many thousands for a good one.
And so when you think about a guy like Adam Carolla, who went from being kind of a funny man and a side funny man for Dr. Drew. So for a lot of people, Adam Carolla isn't a political figure. He's just kind of a silly guy that appreciates a lot of pop culture shit. I could see why you would want to go on that show and not really think anything of it. You know what I mean? Ted Nugent, let's remember, and I'm not the biggest Ted Nugent fan. My heroes love him. I never really did. But Ted Nugent really went off on that dude that said black people and women didn't really contribute anything to rock and roll. Ted Nugent was pissed off at that statement because Ted Nugent's like, everything I do is because of black people and especially black women. So how dare you condemn these people that literally showed me how to play this instrument that I love? So that's interesting because we want to just put Ted Nugent in a big racist box. I'm sure he wouldn't let me date his sister off first glance, but after trading some licks on my hollow body Epiphone that I have, you know, he might change his tune a little bit. I don't know, but I don't.
Well,
even,
this is my idea. I think our way. I think our way to take a lot of the working class white people to the more radical left is via blues guitar. I think that's the end.
Okay. Are you going to be the one that shepherds that class in?
No, I'm lazy.
Yo. I'm gonna be honest right now.
You got to do like I made this whole EP as kind of a joke about the black bourgeoisie. Black yacht rock is all a joke, and every title is a freaking over the top joke. And I sent it to Pascal, and he just started cracking the fuck up because I still can't believe you have a song called "They Let These Negroes Wear Air Force Ones at the Vineyard." I was like, yeah, I know. You got to do the same thing for blues.
Yeah, man. I do more jazz now. I dropped out of music school, so I have a weird relationship with the instrument at the moment, but mostly just playing local jazz bands and everything. But I don't know. Culturally, I think it is an interesting. It is interesting because I think what you said about like Ted Nugent would be true. Mm-hmm. There's that guy, I forgot his name, the guy who made friends with all the KKK guys. Like he was a blues piano player.
Oh, Davis, Daryl Davis. Daryl Davis. Yeah.
Something like Daryl, something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another topic, slightly more serious but interesting.
Okay.
So I'm from New York State, and I went to law school. And one of my best friends, he was a clerk at the Court of Appeals in New York, which that's our highest court, just the way the system works. We don't call it the Supreme Court. And there was an interesting case that I haven't seen anybody talk about. I only know about it because he was working on it, helping write the decision, and he sent it to me saying, "You got to check this out. This is insane." It's a case called People v. Baddox from 2020. And I don't really want to like get into the whole like I don't know. It's hard to frame it because there's a certain way of framing it where it seems like I'm doing some anti-woke screed. I think a lot of the way woke and all of that. I mean, it's such like an eye makes me roll my eyes. It's so overused now. However, it's a very interesting case in how a fetishization of language in the supposed interest of helping minority groups, specifically this was a black defendant, actually led to undermining his rights.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm taking up too much.
No. Keep going. I want to hear. We got to hear how this plays out. You got me on the edge of my seat now. So keep going.
Okay, cool. I'm doing this off the top of my head too, so if anybody wants to read it, it's all free online. You can look up People v. Baddock. I haven't read the decision in a few years, but the basic outlines of it was there's a defendant who he was in being held in Gen Pop of some sort. Mm-hmm. And he was being processed, and a fight broke out. Mm-hmm. And he was blamed for the fight, so he was, that's what the case is over. Mm-hmm. And the person who they used as the witness was this older dude. Both these guys are black. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that the older gentleman was maybe, had some self-interest in saying that this other guy started the fight. Mm-hmm. So in cross-examination, the defense attorney is trying to impeach this witness's credibility. And he's saying, well, you said that it went down this way, but isn't it true? Like, were you mad at this time when this fight went down? Like, did you instigate something? And he was like, no, I'm not mad at all. And the defense attorney, he goes, well, isn't it true that he called you an old N-word? I'm not going to say the word, but the defense attorney's quoting this actual situation, right? Mm-hmm. So he's quoting it to this witness, and he's kind of doing the thing where he keeps circling back around, and he's trying to get his emotions up to catch him like in a lie, to be like, yeah, I did find it bullshit when he called me that. He's trying to say, but you weren't upset about that. He keeps circling around to this quote, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the jurors in the courtroom stood up, and she goes, I can't believe you're saying this word. If you say that one more time, I'm leaving the courtroom. This is ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. So normally, like, that juror can't serve anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And that's up to the judge's determination. And that's what the case is over, because the judge let her stay and told the defense attorney, stop this line of questioning. So he wasn't allowed to quote an actual quote, right? Mm-hmm. Defendant gets convicted, right? So he wasn't able to impeach the witness. Defendant gets convicted. Mm-hmm. Plus, you already have a partial juror. You could tell she stood up and yelled at the defense attorney. So this goes up to the Court of Appeals, mm-hmm. and it's upheld. And the craziest thing about this, because again, this is a court decision at the highest level. When you're doing crim law stuff, especially, you're dealing with the craziest crimes, and everything's on the table. You're talking about serious issues. Mm-hmm. In the actual decision, mm-hmm. this Justice DeFiore, who was technically a Democrat, but she's actually a Republican. She's not the Chief Justice anymore, but she edited out the word. Like, she wouldn't even say the court record words in the decision. And was saying, it was okay, because why was the defense attorney using such an offensive term? The dissenting justice, the only dissenting justice, was also the only black guy on the court, who said this is insane. So, in the ironies of all ironies, it seemed to me, in them being so offended that this person is using this quote in this cross-examination, they undermine the rights of the defendant.
The N-word defendant.
Well, yes. Sure. I mean, no. I don't know.
I don't know. What you said. I don't know.
You called the show, so you know who the hell we are.
Oh, no. I'm here for it. But I think it's a crazy case. You know what I mean? And it shows how hollow this fetishization of the language is, where the most progressive guy on the court is a black guy, and he's like, your reasoning is ridiculous. What are you talking about? It was very interesting.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting. Thank you so much for that call, because it's going to give us a lot to chew on. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, so check it. I think Pascal might be interested in it as well. I've been trying to tell people about this case because I don't know. To show where the head, because the types of diversity picks of judges that are being made, even when you think that they are more progressive justices, they're progressive in a very, they're kind of into the politically correct kind of language. And I saw a lot of that at law school. They're very moved by these kind of shallow arguments, and they miss the deeper leftist ideals trying to be achieved. So,
no, that's actually a great point. Thank you so much for the call, Buffalo.
Thank you. Guys, have a good night.
Have a good night. One of my favorite bands, Every Time I Die, is from Buffalo. Look, me personally, there's this thing. Do you want to read the super chat?
Super chat from Ken. Before I sign off, I just wanted to say how much I love you all. You bring so much levity in a stressful day.
Thank you, Ken.
Love you too, Ken.
Ken, you have no idea how stressed out I am right now.
Me too. I'm stress eating.
Like, the things that are the reason why I'm leaving, the show to go up north all the time is not for fucking vacations. I'll tell you that. I find it interesting that that's where we are. I want to tell this really quick story before we finish out these last couple calls. I was talking to my friend Mike Cobra. You guys don't know who Mike Cobra is. He's only been on the show one time, but this show is called This is Revolution because of Mike Cobra. Mike Cobra is a white guy. He has a good white collar job, but he still is a musician, touring guy, lives in the Bay Area, really nice guy, has always been extremely supportive of my musical endeavors. And when I started doing Bitter Lake, he was like, dude, I love everything you're doing with this project, and I want to make your merchandise. And when I started doing the show, he would listen to it and he goes, I don't think you should call it Sound Waves anymore. I have an idea. There's a lyric in one of your songs where you say, this is not a war, this is revolution. And you should call the show This is Revolution. And I have some design ideas. I'll do this all for you for free. And this is literally what he does for a living. And that's Cobra. That's what kind of guy he is. And so we're sitting down and we're having a conversation about Slash of Guns N' Roses and how he got a record deal. And Slash's mom, I believe, used to date David Bowie. And when Guns N' Roses was getting their deal, Slash was able to call Clive Davis over to the house to listen to demos. And we were like, who the fuck can do that? You can't, they didn't tour relentlessly in a van. Like, those guys were kind of connected. And so Cobra goes, oh, Slash's mom was the woman from the Jeffersons, right? And I was like, no, that's Lenny Kravitz's mom. And I said it like that, like very nonchalantly, because it's a very minor mistake that anyone could make, right? I was on this show the other day swearing one white lady was another white lady. I was wrong, right? And Mike goes, oh, and he's not a jokey guy. He goes, dude, I'm so sorry. I did that white racist shit, huh? I was like, you serious? And he was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. They're all black. I was like, but that's easy to confuse two mixed race, half black, half Jewish guitar players that literally play similar kind of guitars, and both have dads that were in the industry, both have black ass moms, Jewish surnames. Like this, there's a lot of similarities between those two guys. It wasn't like you confused Tyler Perry and Steven Tyler. Like there's
now that's a comparison.
Can you imagine Tyler Perry singing like Steven Tyler?
Dream on.
That's what anti-racism gets you, in my opinion. That's the win. That's what all that shit gets you, is that win right there. You want to read this super chat?
Sure. Sean McCallum says, I will say woke all day long. Wokery, like the traditionalism, is a tool used to hinder the development of proletarian class consciousness.
You know what I'm going to say all day long? Sean Fain better stay out of your house.
Also, Strom says, that's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Norman Finkelstein is completely right about this.
Paul Prescott says anti-racism gets you a lot of apologies. Like, seriously, that's, to me, that's where all this stuff leads, because there's never really a big ask. Intersectionality, like, really, what is it? What is the end goal of all this shit? Like, seriously. So it's sad that derailed a whole court case. There, a professor friend of ours, who shall remain nameless, had a serious situation in his school where he had a teacher that was literally teaching Reconstruction. And she told the class, I'm going to be reading signs from this era, and some of them are going to have some really harsh language on it. And she read a sign that had the N-word on it. And students were protesting to get her kicked out for using harsh racist language. It's not like she wrote the original sign.
Right.
My grandpappy once thought no niggers should pee here. So do I.
So do I.
But it's fascinating that this is what you're mad about. That's where the outrage comes from. There's no, back to kayfabe. There's no outrage with assaults. You're mad. How dare you, sir, use this language in a court of law? He didn't say that nigger juror over there. It's not like I was the lawyer. But seriously, that's the win. That's the only win. And that's why a lot of people are frustrated with this current iteration of a left, because identity battles are kneecapping us. What does kneecap the left more than anti-racism and BLM right now? Kendi, done. Those 3 women that started BLM, they've been done. They all walked away.
They got their houses. They got their houses.
So I'm saying they all walked away with bags, but the movement still lives on. And what is it moving? I don't know. What are you asking for? Reading all the Kendi that I had to read for this article that I'm putting together, and hearing him say things like, you need to have a constitutional anti-racism amendment, and you need to hire me to dictate what is and what isn't racist. Every policy that is written in this world, in this country, is racist. What about sidewalk length? It's racist.
What about what?
Sidewalk length.
Sidewalk length. Oh my.
Curb height.
Curb height is racist.
It's racist. They want to make sure that Negroes are born predisposed with large feet. Paul's right. Paul Prescott, he want to be the race czar. And what do you get at the end of it? Like, seriously. You get apologies.
You get to be a czar.
You get to be the czar of apologies.
You get to wear a velvet cape.
You know what it really does? It allows, this is where people get mad, it allows a stratum of colored folks to obfuscate their position as class enemies. Because it's all about unified oppression. Woe is me at Martha's Vineyard, as Pascal always talks about. All right. We got a couple more calls. I'm going to push one through.
Yes.
Push it. Down.
Calling from the 818.
Ooh, that's SoCal.
What's the name? Where you calling from?
Jason and Toussaint. This is Lenny Powers from SoCal.
Oh, shit.
3 otters in the chat for Lenny.
Lenny Powers.
I just wanted to make a little comment. I think what you get from anti-racism is just a bunch of DEI breaks throughout the day. Yeah. So I kind of look forward to them. It's a little break from work. You know, you hear people that get really close to the line, but then they just don't cross it.
Mm-hmm.
They just get stuck on language and no real solution. So that's just my comment there. But yeah, wanted to call because I wanted to ask, like, with all the Palestine stuff going on, you know, you like, when is violence the answer? And I asked that question. I asked that question in the sense of, you have, you know, a colonized people that have been stripped away from all their anti-violent means of protest, all their anti-violence means of resistance. And I think we have a problem here in a general sense where we can't hold two truths in our head, you know, simultaneously. Like, what Hamas has done is, like, obviously abhorrent, it's disgusting, despicable. But yet, like, what do you expect? Like, what is the, you know, what can you expect from those people that have been, you know, oppressed for so long with little to no outlet? You're going to get the extreme side of that group, you know, violently responding. And, you know, that's just my, you know, opinion on it. I wanted to kind of see, you know, what your take is on that. And also, I'm doing a Halloween movie night, Jason, and the theme of it is really bad direct sequels to pretty decent good first movies. I've already watched Halloween 2, Exorcist 2, the Heretic. Halloween 2 is up tonight, and I wanted to see what your recommendation would be for a really bad sequel to a fairly decent good first movie.
House 2.
All right. And I did take I caught the episode of the Satanic Panic movies, and I watched from that I watched Green Room and Night of the Demons. So those did not disappoint whatsoever.
Night of the Demons 2, I didn't dig. Right now in my head, I'm thinking of like really good sequels. Like I really, really dug Fright Night 2. Ben Burgess will tell you he hates Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I like Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh no, I thought it was great. I think that the pool party massacre was done very well. That was like one of the best kill scenes within the movie. And you know, I don't mind the homoeroticism. I'm completely confident and intact in my own heterosexuality to, you know, observe it and, you know, absorb it and take it for what it is.
I'd have to like sit down and think about it because off the top of my head, the first thing I think of is House 2. I'm not the biggest fan of House, but House 2.
Yeah, I got only. Yeah. All right, I gotta check it out because I've heard House 2, but I've never seen it. But
check it out.
I checked out Howling 2, and I was turned on and disgusted and afraid and frustrated all at the same time within the mid shift werewolf threesome. That was
Pet Cemetery 2. Didn't dig it.
There we go.
Didn't dig it.
Eddie Furlong.
Didn't dig it. Did not dig it at all. Was very disappointed. Yeah, Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Didn't dig it. So that's off the top of my head.
You didn't find that the I always loved how in the late 90s, early 2000s, very far off sequels, they had to throw in a lot of either rappers or R&B artists in movies.
Brandy.
I was thinking of like Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
And and Brandy's in that one. It was just fun. I think they obviously played off on the whole, TRL fad at the time. Get cashing on those teen dollars.
They were probably easier to get than NSYNC.
But yeah, so oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I wanted to think I wanted to know what is your opinion on violent resistance, because we've as the left, I mean, and people that align themselves with the left, like I personally myself don't consider myself a real leftist, because I don't really know what that means, considering that there is no left really in America. I'm more so of like an active unionist, and that's what I could call myself right now, because like in my material reality, that's where I find material gains and influence in, which obviously aligns with the left. But as far as even within the union movement, I mean, you had a lot of capitulation in the past, a lot of contracts that were just kowtowing to management and the companies, but with a little bit more militancy that I could see currently, it kind of aligns with being a little bit more radical, so to speak, and pushing that even further. I mean, obviously I'm not here to call for a revolution. I think that's silly, but to take resistance in a little bit more serious manner, and to consider violent resistance when and where do you put that? Like, where do you put that within the the steps to achieving liberation for your cause?
Oof. I mean, that's a great question. Thank you very much for the call. We'll thank you for the call, Lenny, and I'll be.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'll be in SoCal for Ben Burgess's debate October 22nd. So hopefully you go to Ben Burgess's debate with the head of the GOP in LA. I don't know how much Fanon people watching the show have read, and I don't know how you read Fanon, because he uses violence in a very ambiguous way, where he doesn't really define what he means by violence, because it means a lot of different things for him. But he definitely looks at violence as some sort of catharsis. But then again, we don't really know how serious he means, because he also talks about trauma. This is a man that was a therapist, so he also talks about the trauma of violence. I was talking with Gene Bajlan before we went on air, because I knew this was going to come up, and I am writing something. And I went back into Fanon and some people that studied Fanon, and I also started looking at like rape revenge movies and reading some kind of analysis on some of them as well, because the way I see people kind of reacting to this, it feels like a rape revenge movie. I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. There's so many of them, right? Where the woman goes in kind of timid, but she's hot, and she gets, totally destroyed one way from the other. And then she gets her comeuppance, but she's another kind of hot when she gets her comeuppance, right? Covered in blood, probably with some like ripped clothes and a gun or a knife.
Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. And I think people kind of have that sort of reality when they go, well, what do you think people are going to do? And we have to understand that it takes a lot of discipline to use violence, because violence makes you reactionary. And let's just go back and think about some regimes that used violence. Soviet Union, Pol Pot, Castro. Like, a lot of cats use violence. It becomes really repressive. You're going to become a little bit reactionary. I don't have the right answer, because I don't have an answer. I'm still thinking through it myself. I'm still reading and thinking through it, and kind of reading through Fanon, thinking through it, because it's not as simple as, well, what do you think people are going to do? Because then you deduce people down to kind of animals, and you say, well, this is just what these cats are because of all of this oppression. And that can be also used against you, because you said the oppression makes them animals, so they're animals. So that, of course, justifies a wall. Who the fuck wouldn't build a wall around goddamn animals, right? Regardless if you caused the behavior, they're there now, right? And I'm not from Palestine, so I don't really know. I can't.
Right.
I can only think about it. I don't really know. That's as honest as I can be. It hurts to say that, because I'm supposed to know everything or have like a really good take. But my really good take is that I can't fathom what that reality is like. And I don't know what that would make me and the people that raised me and the people that raised them. Because we also have to keep in mind that not every soldier massacred and raped a family. Who does that extreme violence work better for in the grand scheme of things? Like, let's just really be honest with this. I don't know. Are the people of Palestine going to see that level of brutality and rise up around it? Depending on how you read Fanon, you might think so. But you got to read the whole book, and you have to read him kind of struggling with these contradictions. That a certain level of violence, it kind of hurts us. Not kind of, it does. I haven't faced anything near the people of a war-torn country. I will never know what that's like. Right? Growing up in the 80s and 90s in Richmond, California, it was violent, but it wasn't bombs coming through the neighborhood violent. It was cats shooting up houses across the street. It was cats shooting. But it still wasn't Israel-Palestine. It wasn't genocidal Pol Pot. I don't know what that looks like. Nobody here knows what that looks like. That's from the United States. We don't know what that looks like. I can tell you that just from my life, I'm real jumpy. I don't like people behind me. And when I hear things that sound like gunshots, I flinch. Because I got shot at. It's my brother's first memory is me covering him up as these cats just wanted to shoot a gun off. But that's still nothing like what them people deal with on a daily basis. We still never had our water just shut off because they could shut our fucking water off. And we weren't trapped. Our trap was kind of our own to a certain degree in that neighborhood that we lived in. But you definitely able to get out. I'm free. Them people ain't. I guess again, my take is I don't know. It's something I'm thinking through. And I know this. One of my good friends spent 18 years of her life. And this is a good friend. This is a person that's been in my house. She knows my kids. And she's Jewish, but she's not a settler, right? She's not pro the occupation at all. Vehemently anti what Israel is doing. I would be devastated, and a lot of us, because this person's very helpful in our world, we would be devastated if something happened to her. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Maybe we should all think about it. Maybe we should read our Fanon and again, read him struggling through the contradictions of violence. He does say, the only way you're going to get liberated is through violence. But no matter how you read him, how much you read him, he doesn't really tell you exactly what that's going to look like. All right.
We have one more call.
One more call. One call.
Calling from a 209 area code.
That is the Central Valley.
What's your name?
Hell yeah. Who's this?
This is Josh from Modesto.
From Modesto in the Central Valley.
Modesto.
The place where
the Central Valley bitches.
Where radio goes to die because it's all right wing. What's up, Josh?
Pretty much. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm in a decent mood. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All right, I guess. I was better a few years ago, but I'm on the up and up, I guess.
Oh no! What happened a few years ago? Were you divorced?
No. Well, I mean, went through some breakups and stuff, but had to sell my house. I had bought a house and couldn't keep up the mortgage payment because it was barely I could barely afford it at the time anyway. So.
Well, you didn't call up to talk about your relationships unless you did, and that's really funny.
No, I called to talk about housing.
Oh shit!
I work in architecture, and that's so like today I was working on planning or like a design for a 10-acre property that the guy wants to do like storage facility in the back, apartment complex in the middle, and a shopping center in the front on the main street. But my firm does a lot of apartments, and so it's like I can speak on, I guess, to a degree, the housing crisis, and with my own personal experience, of course, shit that I'm going through right now, shit that I've been going through for the last my entire adult life, But all right, so like 2014, I was 2014, 15, I was making about $10, $12 an hour.
Okay.
And I had a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bath with a garage, and it was in a gated community, and I was paying $880 a month. And now I'm renting a room from my friend's mom for $800 a month. So kind of like since as I've been growing up, as my income has raised, my the rent burden has doubled, tripled, doubled at least, but your experience with the housing that you were talking about in that hotel, I mean, I see it all around me. Homelessness has been like I remember as a kid,
walking down the street or going somewhere with my dad. And my parents were always very empathetic and very caring about other people. And but my dad, I just remember basically him saying, like, if you screw up, this is where you're going to go. You know, this is how you're going to be, kind of thing. And that threat is always kind of like present. And I think it's present in a lot of people's mind because the homeless crisis is insane, you know, but it has a lot to do with the privatization of housing to like, I mean, and it's not just like, I mean, privatization of housing is also people owning their own house, like, which, you know, it's great and everything. But we're seeing I don't know the word, proliferation of small mom and pops, like buying properties through their life and then renting it out as a means to retire comfortably, or I know pensions aren't a thing anymore, and so a lot of people need to find some way to make income while they're not able to actually work. So there's that, and I understand that, but I think a lot of us are seeing large companies buying up swaths of land or buying up a bunch of houses that are foreclosed on or whatever it is. Like over the last 20 years, we've all been watching it. And from my point of view, you know, I'm doing drawings for apartment complexes and doing all this stuff, and they're getting built, you know, but they're charging at or above market rate, you know, so it's not like the more, it just seems like the more numbers that we have, it's not even like no longer a market thing, because I don't think that if we were to have a surplus of housing the way it's constructed right now, that the price would go down at all. I mean, the private developers have to make a certain amount of money. Maybe they have investors. Maybe they're just trying to cover costs. And costs are extremely high now. I mean, over the last few years, building in California has gone up because of code changes and. Which, you know, I support, because codes are very important. You know, builders want to cut corners all the time, and so codes are important. And but it's just I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it, but I think the problem that we're seeing in society, or at least in the recent spike in inflation and all that. Well, we've been seeing that for 10, 15 years, and through real estate, you know, the more people paying rent, the less money they have to spend at the grocery store, to go out to dinner, or to go on vacation, or to buy their kids shit, whatever, you know, like the proliferation of investment housing, I guess, where you have apartment complexes that aren't full because they're charging $3,000 a month or whatever. That's like some of the one of the big apartment complexes that we're building right here in town is across the street from the Kaiser Permanente Hospital. And Kaiser has a practice of, which the nurses and the staff are striking over. They like to do travel nurses, where nurses come from out of state and they get paid a lot more than the nurses who are there. And these travel nurses will pay $3,000 for an apartment across the street from their work, and they'll do that because they're making $9-10 grand a month. And they can easily just like put that bill, whatever, and they're making more. Including that, they're making more than they would be at home, whatever. But the problem is people who are working and living can't afford where they're at. They're paying too much as it is. There's nowhere to go. I don't have anywhere. I'm looking for rooms to rent. Otherwise, like somewhere where I can pay less than $800, or I need a 2-bedroom apartment because I have my daughter who lives with her mom like a lot of the time. But I have her. She wants to live with me. So
I'll tell you.
She came out as lesbian. Go ahead.
Josh, first of all, thank you for calling, right? Because it's hard. It's hard to call and be on air. It's one thing to like send me a message or tweet something out. It's hard to call. It's hard to hear your voice. It's hard to articulate what you want to say because we all want to sound like, cool when we call in. I just want to say this. I was in a similar situation before I came here to Mexico. If you guys know me, I actually have 4 children. And I was living in this horrible warehouse. My daughter came to stay with me. And it was rough. It was very rough because it was just so dangerous in the area around there. And it definitely wasn't a place I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable to a certain degree. But then, you had to share amenities.
Yeah.
I'm not 25 anymore.
And it's easy to be comfortable at a place as a man. I mean, not to be sexist, but
yeah,
I'm sorry,
no, you're right.
Nobody's going to mess with me. Nobody messes with me. I got big shoulders. Nobody's fucking with me, and I have that luxury. You have that luxury.
And it was different. And so I started looking everywhere. Because I was like, I don't want a room because my daughter's an adult at this point. Her brothers are old. they're on their way out of their house as well. But I have a 5-year-old. And I don't want to share a room with a 5-year-old because he's going to do 5-year-old shit, which is fine with me. He's going to think it's funny to laugh really loud.
Grown shit, which is like the bigger thing. Like,
you know what I mean?
Thing for a kid. A kid to share the parents' room, but the parents, it's like it's a different dynamic there for sure. Like, you can't be yourself when you have your
exactly.
When
you have a kid, and at one point in my life, Josh, it was me and my ex I did music with, and 3 of the kids. The 4th one wasn't born yet, and we were sharing a bedroom. 3 kids sharing a bedroom, and the family was really, really kind and nice, and it was less of a bedroom share, more like, well, this is just where we slept, and they kind of had free reign to do whatever they want to do in the house. Yeah. And the family was really, really cool. That being said, it's not my house.
The case, though, at most places.
Yeah, but it's not my house.
Like clear.
Regardless of how cool those people were, and I still love them unconditionally to this day for what they were able to do for me. I'm getting all weepy saying this. I still wanted my own space, and I couldn't find
Everybody needs it.
I couldn't find it where I'm from in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you're from the Central Valley, it's super cheap, but even I was finding places in the Central Valley that were too expensive. I had to come all the way to Mexico because I was like, I can afford these places. I can afford these places. I can work remotely, and I can have a space for my son or any kids of mine that want to come down here and fucking hang out, and I don't have to tell them to keep it down, and they can be kids and have a good time. When you take that away, get it back to the original conversation. When you start taking shit away from people, it does something to your psyche when you don't have the ability to provide kind of these bare minimum necessities. That to me is savagery. That is the savagery in the system that we live in, that, people just don't have.
But yeah, I mean, well, especially because it's like our culture is still very much like, well, if you don't make it, you're a fucking piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do these certain things, you're a bad father. you're not a good citizen, you're whatever, a drug addict or an alcoholic or a whatever, whatever the case may be, like it's devastating. And that lesson that I learned from my dad growing up, like I was homeless a year ago. A year ago today, I spent two and a half weeks living in my truck. I got evicted, couldn't afford my 2-bedroom place, and was late on a payment, and they evicted me. Because they knew they could get $2,000. Like I was paying $1,550 for a 2-bedroom little place, and they knew they can get $2,100. And so the minute that I gave them a legal excuse to kick me out, they did. And as soon as they filed that eviction notice, that was another $900 that I had to pay them, plus my rent, plus, like there was some other bullshit fees. Like, yeah, plus all that. Like, it's impossible. And having to move into a place, you have to have the deposit, first month's rent, you have to have whatever. Like, what if I was a convict or like had a record? I don't. What if I did? And I'm still having this job. I make fucking almost $60,000 a year. And I'm paying child support and all this shit. And I have debts and all that. But like, $800 a month is still tough for me. And it's and I mean, I'm getting underpaid. Most people working should be getting paid at least what I'm making, like, and I'm getting massively underpaid. And I shudder to think about what if I didn't have this, what if I didn't have this, what if I lose my job? I have ADHD. I'm a bad employee. I have a short attention span and my focus shit. It makes it really hard to do architecture. But if I get fired, what the fuck am I gonna do? I can go find a job somewhere else, but 2-3 weeks, I can't just go without making an income. Like, and that's not even talking about like the insurance that I get through my company. That I have heart, I have a heart problem. I have AFib, I have depression, anxiety, and ADHD that I'm now taking medication. Well, I have all this shit that like if I go a day without my mental health medication, I start like you start really sliding, and it's like it's just a tough spot to be in. Everybody's in it, and I'm lucky. I have a good spot. I have a good job. I have all the opportunity in the world. I'll hopefully be a licensed architect here in a couple of years, and once that's the case, then hopefully I can make some more money because I fucking need it. I can't get a place for my daughter can't have a room on her own. She lives with her mom most of the time, but over there they have a ton of kids and she's sharing her room with a bunch of people. And she just came out recently. She's 14. She just turned 14, but she came out a few months ago as lesbian, and she said she's known, since she was 11, and it makes a lot of sense to me because she's always been very standoffish with boys. But her mom is a phobe. Her mom is a huge phobe. She can't even hint, or like she's scared of. She always talks to me about making sure I use certain language and that kind of thing, and it's I want to give my daughter a place to call her own, where she can have her own space and be herself and be comfortable. Like, and I can't even do that for myself. Like barely. Like I live in somebody else's fucking house. Like it's not the same. Like you were saying. Anyway, I didn't mean to take this much time. This shit's a big deal for everybody. I mean, I think it impacts everything. And I also feel like this is also a thing that people can organize around very easily. And I'm in DSA, and we are, we're talking to people about how hard it is, and that's a real thing. So I don't know. Anyway, you guys are great, and I listen when I can, catch up when I can. There's a lot of material. You guys are like pumping out stuff all the time, so I try to keep up. But I just really appreciate you guys.
Josh, thank you for calling, brother. Have a good night.
Yeah, I'll see you in November, right? November 18th.
November 18th, Bay Area. Make sure you grab me. Make sure you grab me.
I'll take that BART in. I'll grab. Oh, for sure. I'll grab you and give you a big old hug.
Got to. All right. Peace,
Yep.
Josh.
All right, guys.
Oh, Josh.
Have a good night.
Josh.
Yeah.
Tell your daughter we said have a good one.
Oh, for sure.
All right, brother.
Have a good night. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oof.
That was a lovely call.
Always end on those notes, right? We don't have answers to.
It's funny how that works.
Since we're going so long, I usually say something that I probably will regret later, as I am a public individual and I do try to date. So hopefully no one is watching this. All jokes aside, I struggle every month because I'm terrified of losing everything. And part of it's on me, right? I decided that this is what I was going to do. Be a podcast guy, be a music guy. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's not. Last month it was not. I don't know what I did. Piss people off. Maybe it's just the times. I don't fucking know. Right. But not having your own space fucks with you. Right. Having to share a room in a house I think Josh is like 30 some years old. Fucks with you. I did that shit. I'm not lying. With 3 kids.
Yeah.
It fucked with me. A lot. It didn't matter how wonderful those people were.
Of course.
And, my kids remembered it. They actually, the last time I saw my boys, they were like, whatever happened to those white people?
You know the ones.
The white people, because you hate asking, is it okay if the kids eat? And there was like no problem. They loved it when the kids were there. Like, oh, the kids are coming over by, blah, blah, blah. But to not be able to afford your own space in a place that is actually somewhat reasonable. And now that place isn't even reasonable. When I was looking for a place to stay, I was like, I'll go live in the desert. I understand the desert. I've worked at Coachella for years. I'm sure there's got to be a place out there that's cheap. There were rooms that were like $1,000 a month. Rooms. Fuck this noise. And again, I totally found this on accident. My daughter came here and she was like, the first time she goes, oh, okay, I see why you're down here and this is great and it's really cool. And now she loves coming down here.
Yeah.
Because she's got a room, she's got a little drawer. She's got her spot on the terrace where she goes and does reading. She knows the people in town. They fucking love her. If I go downtown one more time and the old people don't say, where is your daughter? We just love her so much. How is she doing? She's just so wonderful.
She is.
Oh, you people.
Real quick, we have a super chat for you.
Oh, what does it say?
Damn, stay strong, brother. Times are tough. Thanks for sharing. Have you tried listening to blues guitar? JK, much love.
That super chat was needed in this moment. That's real life. What that cat is dealing with is real life. There's so many people that get so caught up in not real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's real fucking life.
It's true.
Josh, I look forward to seeing you November 18th. I hope it's a nice respite from the fuckery, drudgery of life. Definitely, it's kid friendly. Bring your kid. I think she's gonna dig it. I think she's gonna dig hearing all these crazy stories from all these crazy rock and roll metal people. She'll have a good time. The place where we're having it at, this person is an amazing friend of mine. And he has some small, wonderful kids that I got to hang out with a few months ago. I'm crossing my fingers that my beige tribe will be with me. We'll see. But I was with a friend who works in homeless services. And she was talking to me about work. And it was just like the heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And it's like, I don't know if I can do this, but I really love doing this. You don't make that much money. Right. You don't make that much money in that world. It's fucking hard out there for cats. I don't have anything to offer at that point other than a hug. And maybe that's and if you need to crash, you can come down here.
Woohoo!
For a limited time.
For a limited time only.
Somebody was like, your place looks like a hotel. I was like, yeah, checkout's at noon. Just so you know. But like, all jokes aside, man, that's rough. I feel for you, Josh. I wish I had more time on those drives back, that I could hang out a little more in the Central Valley is where he is, and there's some other people. I have a cousin that I haven't seen in forever. We've reconnected through social media, and he's in this similar area, and I would love to hang out with some of those cats down there and shoot the shit. But that 14-hour drive is brutal. And
wow.
Yeah.
Prairie Fire Kowalski in Nebraska. Says Nebraska has very affordable housing. You just have to put up with the snow and the hill folk.
I'm fine with Nebraska cats. Again, I've been playing there since, what year is it? 2023? At least 13, 14 years, something like that. I've been playing out that way. I have no problem. I have a problem with the conditions in which you people live.
Thank you, Kowalski. Somebody once called him Kowalski because he calls in all the time.
This was fun. We heard a lot of different things. I thought I was going to get a lot of Israel, Palestine. I thought I was going to get a lot of all violence is justified under occupation. I thought I was going to get a lot of pray for Israel. I didn't know what I was going to get, what we were going to get. And I think there's diversity of people that listen to this show. There's diversity of calls, and I fucking love it. And I want to do this more often. Maybe we should do this once a month at least.
I think that's really cool. Yeah.
I would love it if Pascal could do it. Sadly, he does not have the equipment. Hey!
We coming for you, nigga.
Jesus. You have another super chat from the letter hack.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I was talking to Senator Nina Turner about your show tonight.
Letter hack, what did she say?
That's crazy.
You know what's even crazier? She follows me on Twitter.
Does she really? She sees your post about toys and horror movies.
She saw my thirst trap shots.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
And the Patreon drops again.
We have another super chat here. Justin Sizemore, just a dude from Kentucky. Not much to say, too shy to call in. Been following the streams for a year. Love your stuff.
Fuck yeah. What part of Kentucky? I love Kentucky.
Good question. Imagine you're on the phone talking to one person.
Who, me?
No, anybody who's shy to call in. Just imagine you're on the phone talking to Jason.
That's what you're doing, ultimately.
Ultimately, that's what you're doing.
Because you know what's funny? This is what Toussaint does when you guys aren't here.
It's true.
The singing the oh no shit too. Like like all the silly shit that you guys get is what it is like if you talk to me in real life.
That's very, very true.
With yeah. Am I lying?
Was that a Pascal's old joke because his equipment stopped working?
It's whatever you want it to be.
He was at the first Thanksgiving, you know.
He was. Prairie fires. I'm reading it. You know what's funny, man? People are having like serious calls, and I like my eye is, if you can see. So the way my setup is now with the new stuff is the screen in which the show runs off of is here, and then I have my script here, and there's a camera right in the middle. Don't ask me why I thought that was a good idea. So I like, you'll see me look off to the side here, and Jordan Doom used to be like, dude, we can totally tell when you read the chat because you just start cracking up. You can't hide it. I was like, you guys have to stop being so funny then. You guys are fucking hilarious.
Chat is too much sometimes.
I kind of want to say this job is kind of a blessing, man. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Before the show, if you see me beforehand, I'm a mess. I'm reading too much, even for today.
Yeah.
I'm preparing too much. I'm nervous. Nothing's going to go right. But I feel like I need that nervous energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the music starts, and then we get rolling, and we're all good. And then I see the chat, and I'm like, this is funny. Norm said, Jason, you're going to produce Norm's Finkelstein's blues. I want the blues thing to be a running joke.
Could you imagine?
You know that scene in the Boondocks? You can't trick white people with cheese, granddad, and you just trick them with blues guitar.
It's funny.
Maybe I was wrong about homosensuality.
Today's white man enjoys cheese. I think about that all the time.
It's like, these people are a menace to society. Well, maybe it's not their fault. Strom says, Jason, let me call in and sing some blues about Biden. The next time we do this, that's what we'll do. If you want to fucking call in with a song, you get to call in with 30 seconds of your track. Because you can't, once you say a song, you're going to have like long-winded song people like me with 11-minute songs. You're going to have rappers, booty holes.
No.
Don't need to hear anything about anyone's behind.
Prairie Fire says, chat, remember, after here, we all regroup and we attack Destiny.
It's so, I haven't talked to Ben Dixon in fucking like 3 years. I don't think Ben Dixon remembers me. I think he remembers Pascal, and definitely he had Marcus on the show like quite a few times after that. But you know, decent guy, church guy, nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, never would I think, oh, I'm gonna go to your house and fuck the shit out of your wife in front of you. I've never think
not once.
Like, of all the insults you could say about Ben Dixon, that was like not the one.
No.
I wouldn't. First of all, I don't know if I could say it to anybody.
Yeah.
And because that's mean. And once you say that, you better mean it.
I agree.
Because
you got one lady waiting on it. You better mean it.
I'm mad you rubbed your hands.
Don't put me in your jokes.
I'm mad you rubbed your hands. Like, you better bring that dick, motherfucker. Can you imagine if Ben Dixon's wife was just, every man loves a woman. They can fix him up a good meal. I don't know, Ben Dixon. Everything's so large on her.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you was gonna cuck me, huh? Better bring that thin dick on in. Destiny comes up all uncircumcised and black girls start fucking yelling at him. Oh shit, look at that nigga's dick.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like a fucking sock puppet. Oh shit.
God, no.
Oh shit, look like his dick's wearing a turtleneck. Oh shit.
And the show takes a turn. Can
you imagine that? I thought she was gonna fuck my wife. Why can't you get hard, Destiny? Because she keeps making fun of me.
God.
Why your bald hairs look like old man whiskers?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Just fucking with them.
Just you're watching it leaving.
So long, isn't it? Alfida saying goodbye. Like, that would be the funniest shit ever if that dude like really went to go try to fuck Ben Dixon's wife and she was just like too much for him to handle. I don't know if I have enough dick to hit it from the back. And Ben is like trying to tell him that a real cucking can only be done if you're smashing it from the back.
Wow. I'm learning so much today. Thank you, Del Sol.
Like, can you imagine that? There's no way in the world. Like, to say that is some super bold shit.
He's a super bold guy, except he didn't have anything to say. Thought he was going to come and bring the heat, but he didn't.
That cat, when Ben did that thing in New York, he was there, and every time he spoke, I was like, this guy fucking sucks. Me and Cooper were sitting there going, this guy fucking sucks. And it's like, whatever, dude. Like, I get it. You're important because a bunch of gamers think you're cool because you say with confidence that you fucking suck. But whatever. You know why those people like never do shit where someone's gonna slap the fuck out of them? Because they'll be done. They will be done. Imagine if Haas got the fuck slapped out of him by like Asatar Bear. Asatar Bear looks like Father Time.
Yes, he does.
He's like 2 years older than me.
Is he?
Yeah, he's built like a brick shithouse. This motherfucker is solid. Buff as fuck. Got hands like fucking Paul Bunyan.
All the boys with the big shoulders listen to TIR.
He would slap the fire out of that ass. He'd be done. You're the tough guy on the internet yelling at people over a screen. Somebody just fucking manhandled the shit out of you. It'd be over for you. Just remember, Destiny's weakness is oceans. That's what I want to see. I don't want to fucking see some shitheel that's never read anything more then a paragraph of a Wikipedia entry, have a debate with some other shitheel that's done the same thing. That's stupid. I don't give a fuck what either one of them think. They want to get into the octagon or some shit and fight. Street beefs.
We coming for you, nigga.
All about it.
Street beefs.
Street beefs. Street beefs. Put on the big ass 12-ounce gloves if you need to.
Rat beef.
Street beef. If you're not going to street beef, if them hoes ain't going to street beef, they not serious people. Ignore them. Don't tell me about Destiny said. Don't say Vouch said. You're watching punk shit. Trumps, I'm taking Haas's high school diploma. I think I took your doctorate. I don't even know what that means, man. I don't even make no sense.
No.
It's the dumbest shit ever. That's how you get this fuck slapped out of you with Oscar Bear's big ass fucking banana hands.
Banana hands. Mr. Banana Hands over here.
I'm not trying to fight that big motherfucker. Like 6'3", 6'4". Martial artist. Not afraid to get hit. I'm not built for that life. I'm built to talk shit, instigate fights. I'm not walking up to big niggas talking shit. That's why I don't understand the internet. Internet is just a series of motherfuckers walking up to big niggas like, hey, fuck your mother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Destiny, you don't want the Ben Dixon's wife smoke. You're not ready for that jelly.
That was such a crazy thing to say.
It is. I think they got like 3 or 4 kids. You're not ready for that, dude.
Mm.
Can you imagine what would happen if his dick fell out? Oh.
No. Mason, too much.
What kind of cucking is that?
Jesus.
I don't have that problem. Can you imagine Ben Dixon's yelling at you in your ear? You're trying to fuck his wife. He's just yelling at you about how you're not doing it right, and she's mm-hmm-ing him the whole time.
Oh my God. Why this guy your imagination? I don't know why.
Oh. Look. Because Ben Dixon's a church boy. Can you imagine Martin Luther King there for the cucking?
Oh, no, I can't.
Okay, I won't do it. I won't do Pog Chaser MLK at the cucking of Ben Dixon.
Jesus.
Someone says Ben is definitely gonna hear this. I'm not dissing Ben. I was offended for Ben that this dude had the audacity to say that he was gonna bang his wife. I was like, that is rude.
That is rude.
I was like, oh my God. What did his wife have to do with any of this? He's actually really good about kind of separating his family and his show. They just added her in like that was really gonna be the like you spiked the ball right there. It's like, I don't know if you're ready for I don't know, dude. This ain't one of them little narrow butt chicks that you with right now. It's 4 kids in. It's a lot going on everywhere.
Jesus. Everywhere.
Huge areolas.
Wow. Wow. What is it about this that is just giving you all these visuals and all this commentary?
It's the fact that that motherfucker had the audacity to say that shit to him. And if I was Ben, I would have been like, I'm buying you a plane ticket right now. If I didn't have any money, I'm like, I'm charging it on a credit card that I can't pay off next month. I asked my daddy for a loan to get you down here on a first class ticket to whoop your ass.
To whoop your ass.
I'm going to whoop your ass. And then I'm going to stream you after I whoop your ass. Because that's something that you would probably be used to. Since you like to talk about every aspect of your life so much. Talk about this ass whooping. Live and direct from a foot in the dog's ass.
My God.
That's what, seriously, I thought, I was like, that's just a bridge too far, dude. Don't. You mean, you heard Matt McManus talking about that when he was on the show the other day. He's like, when people talk about my wife, it's a bridge too far.
I didn't know he was married.
Yeah. His wife is Latin. And people right wingers say fucked up shit about his wife.
Oh.
It's a bridge too far.
Bernie said that too. Talk about my wife.
It's just unnecessary. You got enough material with the dude. Talking about fucking his wife is some silly shit you do amongst your friends because y'all do weird shit. And, you know, he's in Atlanta and you're in Nebraska. And there's a good chance that he's not going to buy you that plane ticket. If someone says Ben's going to see this, I hope Ben sees this. Buy him that plane ticket. I feel like if you aired this on your show, Ben, you would get people to fund you that plane ticket. Maybe you won't do it because you're a man of God, and I respect that about you. But I have a feeling that there's some goons in your sphere of influence.
Oh, Jason. Talking about goons. Now we got goons on the scene.
Goons on the scene. Let Destiny bring his goons. Can you imagine what Destiny's goons look like?
They'll have blue hair like him. They'll be Nazis, lightweight Nazis.
Lightweight Nazis. Bring all the lightweight Nazis to Atlanta. It'll be the scene John Singleton could never film. For what was that movie he did about college? What was John Singleton's movie where Ice Cube and Busta Rhymes and Michael Rappaport?
I don't remember.
Michael Rappaport became a school shooter. Huh?
Somebody just bought you a taco.
Thank you, Josh, because that's exactly where I'm going. What was it called? I keep wanting to say School Days, but it wasn't. Higher Learning. You never saw Higher Learning?
Nope.
That is a black movie. How did you not see that?
I was busy watching Boomerang over and over again.
You are not going to out-black yourself by trying to black it up with a black movie. No.
Yeah, I think that had to be it. I didn't want to watch new movies. I wanted to watch the ones that I saw already that were good.
Nah, dude. What is higher? What is learning?
Oh my God.
You've never seen Higher Learning?
Nah, make me want to watch it.
It's not that good, but just watch it anyway, because that's the scene at the end is the scene that would happen if Destiny brought his goons, his crew of school shooters over to Atlanta for Ben's crew of Christian rappers. It would be the most glorious race war that anti-racism has ever known.
Christian rappers versus school shooters. This is what Jason came up with.
I've been in North Platte. I wanted to say we played a show somewhere around North Platte. How far is North Platte from South Dakota? I forget. But yeah, don't talk about people's wives. It's too much.
Moral of the story.
The moral of the story is don't do that. That's not cool. First of all, that woman has nothing to do with whatever you're mad about with Ben Dixon. He's an adult man that can take anything you say on the chin. Leave his family alone. Leave everybody's family alone. Unless you're prepared. And that's why I got mad, because I knew he's not prepared for that.
No.
I'm mad you rubbed your hands together when you was like, you better be bringing some heavy ass dick.
I didn't even know you heard me.
Nigga, your fucking heavy ass hands was fucking thinking about meaty hogs.
Banana hands.
You know, it'd be the worst if he came over there talking that shit and then Ben Dixon pulled out his dick and he just had just a huge fucking elephant trunk.
Oh my God.
Just casting a shadow and shit.
Oh my God.
Schmeckley just has a picture.
He killed Schmegly.
He killed Schmegly. Fucking. I wanted to tell Ben, like, don't respond with all this shit. And I got the receipt. Don't respond. Just if you're gonna respond, be like, I'm buying you a plane ticket. You better bring heavy meat, nigga.
God. Oh, Lord.
You know what's funny? What's funny is Ben's gonna have all these mentions in his Twitter shit about how big his dick is, and he's not gonna know why. I hope he is calm enough that if he does see this, that he laughs through it.
He's gonna get the wash hands emojis. He's gonna be like, what is this about?
Better bring that meat. Better bring that meat.
Oh man.
I get nervous every time I have intercourse because the last thing you want is someone to be like, "Is that it?"
Oh, Jason.
That's the worst thing a woman can say about anything.
We're turning down some very dark corners. Every time I think we're headed towards the light, we just go down another alley.
Do you really want Mrs. Dixon going, is that it? Is this him? Like, when it comes to, oh, is this him? Like, that's never what you want to hear somebody say.
Is this him?
You know how you introduce your boyfriend to your homegirls? Oh, this is my boyfriend. This is Finn. They go, oh, this him? It's like, ooh.
Ooh.
It's Finn, just fucked up. Got to get out of the relationship now. Sorry, I can't see this through, honey. Your friends just made me feel like less than I'm human. But Sven, no. You know why I'm laughing right now?
Because of this? Just clowning this dude. for 20 minutes.
I thought she meant the stripper from the Players Club. Got this old thin dick white boy in my house.
Jeez.
Oh, no booty ass thin dick white boy with an uncircumcised penis. Dick look like peekaboo.
Oh my God.
All right, we gotta stop. Oh, and Destiny's a boy. Oh, dude, can you imagine if
ridiculous?
Born Center says Jason has the same humor as a 2005 middle schooler. Bingo.
Yeah.
We coming for you, nigga.
Where are all these people coming from now? They were not here before.
Dude. Oh my God. He doesn't like fart jokes. Not really. But Jesus, these jokes about dude.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I just can't stop picturing him talking all this shit with his friends, and the next scene is him just crying in the corner. Can't say mean shit to people like that and not expect me and Toussaint to make fun of you. And me and Toussaint and everybody watching this show right now is making fun of you. You may not care, but we're going to keep making fun of you in our minds.
Oh my Lord. What Prairie Fire just said. Oh my Lord. He is on fire tonight.
Can you please read that? Can you please read
Prairie Fire, Nebraska. Kowalski says the Ben Dixon Dick signal has brought more people to the show.
Letter Hack says this show right now is if Oliver Stone directed a National Lampoon's movie. Oh my God. I hope, again, either Ben's going to laugh this off. Either Ben's going to watch this and laugh this off. Be like, you know what? The TIR crew is right. Fuck this dude.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to keep living my life, doing my thing. I'm going to hug my wife. I'm going to hug my beautiful children. Right? I'm going to go do some extra black shit in Atlanta because it's the blackest city in the fucking world. Or he's going to go full Rocky. Call that motherfucker up. Have a dick training scene montage.
Oh my gosh.
Again.
Punching a pig or something.
Oh my God. Did you put Born Center's comment? She's so stupid. Oh.
Wait.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Jason, you read it. You read it.
Jason loves sticking around like a dickhead, like Ben Dixon. I mean, Ben Dixon.
Dick.
Ridiculous.
Oh, God. This shit. I'm sorry. I want to end the stream, but I can't now because it's just too funny. Strom says it's not majority black anymore. It's been really, really gentrified. I'll take your word for it. I haven't been to Atlanta in 4 years. When I was there, it was pretty chocolatey.
I would love to go to Atlanta. That's where Young Thug is from.
I mean, there's a lot of the Outcasts, Goody Mob. Like you stopped right there, like Young Thug was.
Young Thug. Yep.
You like the white people in Philadelphia that love the Rocky statue.
Shut up.
Damn, and then Kowalski called Boy out and said he was a little dude from fucking Omaha. That's fucking horrible. You're a little dude from Omaha talking big dick shit. Kowalski's not a little cat, man.
He's not.
It's probably some heavy meat too. He's like, look, man, we all talking heavy meat shit around here. You can't be around here with your little ass, thin ass meat shit.
You stop saying thin. Oh my God. Why do you keep saying thin? Oh.
Kowalski says, I do wear size 16 shoes. Exactly. Knee knocking. Excuse me. I want to get my penis caught in this tractor again.
Jesus.
Thin dick homeboy come up in there talking about, oh, it's just really cold outside. Nah, we got heat in this house. It's fine. You got a little dick.
Oh.
You was talking big dick shit. I get it, man. You got caught up in the moment, brother. Just take it back and it'll be okay. Just take it back. If we make Destiny take it back, that's the greatest thing ever.
Just take it back.
If we can make him feel so horrible that he just takes it back, then we won.
God.
He should. He should. At the very least, he should be like, you know what? Even if you want to say some fucked up shit like, hey, I was out of line for talking about your wife. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry. You're a bitch ass motherfucker, but I shouldn't have talked about your wife. Even if he said that. I mean, that still get him slapped, but
That's true.
A different kind of slap, right? It's a different kind of. Versus the show has been insured.
It really has.
Can you read Zach's comment, please? I can't with you people.
Just take it back. Slide it on the back in like your skinny dick in a cold pool. Jesus. Jesus, y'all.
Oh.
In a cold
pool. I think we found the true meaning of violence that Fanon struggled to. Dude, you just can't do that. Gotta apologize. Apologize. I'll fight with your chick through you.
Oh God.
I'm so gonna get scolded. That's why I don't want to end this show. I don't want to get yelled at by him. Jason, I know you were having fun, but you gotta stop talking about the girth or non-girth of other people's junk. And she's right. I shouldn't. but it's just he did it.
Oh.
He put it on a T. Did you just do this with your hand?
Shut up. I wipe my hands of the show.
Like, oh, okay, done with this. Right. Oh God. Yes, Gaspar says he set the table. He did set the table. He set the table. I want to thank you, everybody that called in. It takes a lot of balls to call into a show. It really does, because it's nerve-wracking. Even when I call into shows, which I don't really do, it's weird. It's uncomfortable. You don't necessarily have things ready to say. This isn't like one of those shows where everyone knows they're going to call and so they write a script out.
Right.
Well, now you know that we're going to do this, so you guys can write shit out. Thank you so much for MT for joining me. I was going to do this all by myself.
Yes. I didn't realize that.
I was ready to do. Now you're mad that you just
I could have been asleep. No, it's fine. Because you said call in, and I'm like, that's usually our thing.
Yeah, I was just giving everybody time off. You know, I gave you I won't get into it on air, but I gave you my speech about why I'm all fucked up over that too.
Yeah. Don't be a masochist.
Maybe. We'll be back tomorrow with
Julia Doubleday?
Yeah.
Is it time already?
It's time.
Oh, tomorrow's going to be a lot of shuffling and a lot of tap dancing.
Born Center said, where's Pascal fighting Israel? Unless you mean eating a falafel with his feet.
Pascal is busy. Presumably still in Miami.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Strom, we had a full stack. I guess that's why the phone lines were busy.
Pascal be calling to not be on, like that one kid that didn't do his homework and is looking for an excuse not to go to class.
Foot falafel.
He calls like 2 minutes before it go on. Do you need me for today?
Could have sworn I heard you say you didn't need me.
I could have swore that you sent out a mass email that said you
Well, I already made plans.
Yeah, like you know them people that be calling into work. They're already at vacation when they didn't get the PTO to take it off, and they just call in like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
I can't do it."
Oh, you didn't approve the PTO? I swore you did. Oh man, I'm already in Jamaica. Someone says eating falafel with your feet is river dancing.
Critical support for Palestine. I hope you people are having a good time laughing at all this, because we're in the Joe Rogan zone of over 3 hours. That's a long time. Yeah, man, we are in Joe Rogan territory. Look, I'm sorry we went so long. Thank you guys for calling. Thank you guys for supporting this show. Thank you guys for sharing this show with your friends. Thank you guys for showing up to the live stuff. Thank you guys for, purchasing merchandise and wearing your support. Just thank you guys so much. This is
so huge for everyone that's a part of this show. Gene and Kuba have all told me individually, like the fact that they're a part of this show. This was part of Kuba's wedding, was multiple people talking about how excited he was to be a part of this show. Like, you guys make our lives special as well. And we love this community that I don't want to say we tried to cultivate, but that's kind of come together. I love the growth. I'm sad to see people go. There's people that were a part of it, like Gigi. I haven't seen Gigi in forever. You know, you hope these people are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody that watched this show from the beginning was in good financial positions. But seriously, from everybody that does stuff at TIR, Pascal, Kuba, Gene, Quintern, Stefan, Prescott, Marcus, who I was on the phone with way too long the other day.
Kenzo
Shibata, another motherfucker that I was on the phone. Just Mac.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, we all get super excited to come on here because of you guys, because we can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And that's huge. We definitely like talking about serious stuff. We definitely love bringing in guests and learning with you guys. This isn't like we know all this shit beforehand. We are learning with you guys. And it's been a fun 4-year ride. It's been a fun 4-year ride. I don't know what the future holds. Hopefully more live stuff. But
yeah. We love meeting you guys too.
Hella love meeting you guys. It's always so much fun. I can legitimately say that I'm friends with Andy.
Yeah. He carries the guitars.
Someone said Marcus is Team Feldman. That's so funny. You people have no idea. It's
a deep cut.
It's a deep cut that you guys, it's just so beyond you.
So funny.
That me and Tucson are going to uncontrollably giggle about when this is over.
Marcus is Team Feldman.
Marcus was in New York. People met Marcus.
That's right.
You know why? Because Marcus is such a... He reminded me of this to make me feel like a piece of shit. He goes, every time you have a fucking live show, motherfucker, I come all the way out there from DC.
That's true.
So, thank you guys. We're going to do this again tomorrow. We might not laugh as hard, but we will laugh. I will say this. If you guys come with more of these dick jokes, I will lose my shit. I will lose my shit.
Oh, man.
If there's Destiny dick jokes tomorrow,
losing it.
I will not be ready. I'm not ready for those. So let's, you know what? Since we're chilling here, let's go out with, hold on, where'd it go? Is it here? Let's go out with the old school goodbye.
Old school.
Let's go out with old school goodbye.
Let's do it.
Ready? We are